Good evening, and welcome to the April 16, 2026 meeting of the Town of Southampton Zoning Board of Appeals. This meeting is being held live and also via video conferencing on the town's website. For those of you online who want to view tonight's live meeting only and not participate, please do not join the Zoom meeting. If you're having difficulties accessing the hearing in either case, visit the town clerk's meeting portal and click on the instructions link. With that, I'd ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you're here with us tonight in person, please silence your cell phones, excuse me, and refrain from speaking to one another, as it interferes with the recording of our proceedings. In case of emergency evacuation, please exit through the rear doors of this room to one of the staircases across the hall. Continue outside, down the stairs, and out through the main entrance. Do not attempt to use the elevators during an emergency evacuation. In case of a medical emergency, the automated external defibrillator and first aid kit are both located in the hallway on this floor opposite the elevator. Restrooms are located across the hall from this room. Tonight, Board Member Julie Kane is participating via Zoom. A reminder that applicants, agents, and members of the public speaking, other than attorneys, will be sworn in, will state their address for the record, and will offer their testimony as it relates to the application before the board. In order to consider properly every application before us, individuals commenting on a particular application excuse me, have a time limit of 3 minutes. I want to emphasize we welcome all comments, but we must adhere to a time limit in order to accommodate all interested in speaking on any application this evening. Written comments on any application are also welcome. Please address these comments to members of the board and send via email, mail, and or dropped off at Town Hall to the board secretary, Candace Cowell, in the building department. At this time, I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of our April 2nd, 2026 meeting.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second?
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Redmond?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, John, do you want to take us through the agenda?
Okay, we're going to start by calling number 1 on the agenda, the application of Norman P. Yeager and Sherry Grant Oster, 71 Sabonic Inlet Road, Tuckahoe, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-128-1-9. Applicant requests relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for a proposed pool. 1, Section 330-6 General Regulations that references Section 330-11 Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for an accessory distance from front lot line setback from 90 feet to 39.2 feet. And 2, Section 330-76D Placement of accessory building structures and uses in all districts, and Section 330-83C Yards to allow the proposed pool to be located within the required front yard for the principal building on a non-conforming lot and any other relief necessary.
The board has jurisdiction.
Okay, I move to adjourn the hearing on this application to July 16th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Redmond?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Okay, number 9 on the agenda, the application of Donna Regan, 26 Foster Avenue, East Quogue, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-341-1-24. I move to adjourn the hearing on this application to June 4th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Redmond?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Number 10 on the agenda, 2297 Montauk LLC, 2297 Montauk Highway, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-86-1-3. I move to adjourn the hearing on this application to August 6th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Redmond?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Number 11 on the agenda, the application of 19 Bay Drive LLC, 19 Bay Drive, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-269-1-46. I move to adjourn the hearing on this application to July 2nd.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Redmond?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Number 12 on the agenda, the application of 625 Butter Lane Homestead LLC, Agricultural Reserve, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-51-1-17.7 has been withdrawn. Turning to the decisions, The decision in the application of Mark I. Bombach, 336 New Light Lane, Watermill, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-103-2-54. I move to adjourn the decision on this application to May 7th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Application of David Dunaway, 149 Big Fresh Pond, North Sea, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-94-3-26.2. I move to adjourn the decision on this application to May 7th.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
I move to reopen the hearing in the application of Doris F. Lucero Nunez, 101 Springville Road, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-260-7-20.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
And I move to close the hearing in the application of Doris F. Lucero Nunez for decision later tonight.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
I move to reopen the hearing on the application of Richard Telesnik, 1 Shore Lane, West Hampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-382-1-29.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
We'll
Mr.
get
McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
And I move to close the public hearing on the application of Richard Telesnik for decision later tonight.
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redmond.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Okay, calling number 2 on the agenda, Patricia Crystal Behar, 782 Brick Kiln Road, Noyak, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-25-1-39. Applicant requests relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for a proposed Padel Court. 1, Section 330-6 General Regulations that references Section 330-11 Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for an accessory distance from front lot line setback from 110 feet to 63 feet. And 2, Section 330-76D Placement of accessory building structures and uses in all districts, and Section 330-83C yards to allow the Padel Court to be located within the required front yard for the principal building on a non-conforming lot and any other relief necessary.
Board has jurisdiction.
Please introduce yourself.
Carl Benacasa, 860 Montauk Highway, Watermill, New York, for the applicant. Good to see you all. The proposed Padel Court complies with, even though this lot is 60,000 square feet within the 200,000 square foot zoning district, the Padel Court complies with side yard setbacks, it complies with rear yard setbacks, it complies with front yard setbacks. The reason we are here is because the unfortunate circumstance of this lot, like every other one adjacent to it, is that it is situated up against an unopened portion of Middle Line Highway, which has existed and been unopened, completely wooded, longer than any of us have been alive. So, because of that, the placement of this Padel Court, though in a normally cleared area and consistent with even the 200,000 square foot zoning district, has to meet front yard setbacks. This board has a history, just 2 years ago, of considering these lots and recognizing the burden placed on these roads that have never and likely will never be opened. I would just note in 2024, an application I presented to this board on 32 Emerson Place. Relief was granted for a principal setback from 60 feet to 15.5 feet, noting that the front yard setback was adjacent to a road that had never been opened and will never be opened. There are many examples along Middle Line Highway within this vicinity of playing surfaces, specifically tennis courts, existing within that setback against or adjacent to Middle Line Highway. Specifically, just to the west at 726 Brick Kiln Road, there's a tennis court 60.8 feet from the unopened portion of Middle Line Highway. And to the east at 1204, Brick Kiln Road, there's a tennis court that was given a CO in 2022, just 64.4 feet from that unopened portion of Middle Line Highway. So again, for all intents and purposes and practically speaking, this is just a rear yard and it complies with all rear yard setbacks. It is but for that portion of Middle Line Highway that we are here asking for relief. I would note that much of the area surrounding Middle Line Highway to the south of Middle Line Highway has been purchased by the town for preservation. This is an area that, to be honest, will never be open and will never be developed. This town has evolved and this area has evolved without need for opening that portion of Middle Line Highway. And that's what stretches from Brick Hill Road all the way down to Bridgehampton Turnpike. Just to go through the 5 factors, will it cause an undesirable change in the neighborhood? No. Many of the neighborhood lots have these sport courts, mostly tennis, in the rear yard, which is technically the front yard, along this area. Can it be achieved by any alternative without a variance? No, because of this unfortunate positioning of that unopened road. I would note the lot is located, the proposed court is located in an area that is topographically convenient. As you get further back, you can see the topography changes substantially, and in an area that is already cleared, so there won't be any additional clearing for this court. It will not be substantial, although, you look at the numbers, you think you're asking for nearly a 50% relief. Again, given the circumstances, I don't believe this to be substantial, since practically speaking, this is a rear yard, and again, it complies with rear yard setbacks. There is no necessary environmental conditions. Again, there's no additional clearing proposed for this, and the topography is very accommodating for the court at that point. So that's basically the relief that we're requesting. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, this is mine, so I'm going to start off. First of all, I couldn't access the property because they had a gate, and I was unable to.
I have some pictures if you want to see.
Well, that would be helpful, but I did try to find Middle Line Highway, and of course, like you said, it doesn't exist behind the property. And I tried to look also as to what is behind that, and which is a lot of forest, a lot of, trees and everything else like you indicated. We've had a number of pickleball and padel courts presented to us. They do present a real challenge for this board because of noise and disruption of neighbors. And I wanted to get from you a description of the padel court, which I understand is more like a squash court, and it's got sides, all 4 sides, but it still does have noise issues. And I was unable to really tell how far away the neighbors were on either side. I know it's heavily vegetated, and it seems like there's, pretty good screening around the property. But since we do always ask these kinds of questions, can you give us an explanation as to the soundproofing and some other concerns that might be
Sure. So
raised by neighbors?
you're right. Unlike pickleball,
Yeah.
padel is encased in a rather tall, it's surrounded by fencing, rather tall
Is
fencing.
it sunken also?
It's not sunken, no, it doesn't have to be sunken. But
How tall up does the wall go?
it's 8 feet tall on these courts.
Is it a wall or a fence?
It's a wall.
It's a,
plastic
it's,
wall.
yeah, it's see.
You actually play off the walls a little bit.
Transparent.
Yes, transparent. The noise, it's a little more than tennis, but it's not as much as pickle. The sort of graphite to wiffle ball has created a lot of problems. From a noise perspective, padel does not seem to, and this seems to be the trendy sport right now, so I'm sure you're seeing a lot of these. Padel does not have the same decibel levels as
Actually,
pickle.
you're the only person that has ever come in with a padel court.
First one.
I mean,
To
I
us.
think there are
we had one.
particular.
There are others, but
One that
here,
requires a variance.
No, and-
There could be
And only
dozens.
we're
when-
not holding it against you, I'm just telling you.
I don't play padel.
We've had other padel.
I have no
That's how I
vested
learned
interest
it
in
was
padel.
pronounced padel.
No, but
So
I
they
think
are
the
surrounded
point
by,
is
there
that-
is
yeah.
an inherent sound barrier. It's not put in for that purpose, but it would serve that function, and it is not as loud as pickleball. If you'd like some other sound mitigation, I can certainly talk to the client about that.
Okay, what would you?
It does comply with side yard setbacks.
Yes.
So it's, as from a zoning perspective, it's sufficiently distanced from any neighbor.
It's the quirkiness of having an unopened road and that considered a front yard.
That's the only
Yeah,
reason we're here.
but, again, I think that we would be interested in hearing what some noise mitigation possibilities are. At least I would.
Could I submit a written comment on
Yes.
noise mitigation?
Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Can I just ask Anthony, I know you had a pedigree of being here on the question of what's the future use of Middle Line Highway, probably not a road. Is that ever gonna be a trail or something like that? Do you know?
I don't know.
I mean, there's no plans affirmatively to that effect, so,
No, I mean, there's so much woodland on Middle Line Highway, that area, and so much preserved land. I don't believe this section's ever going to be
Okay.
I don't either.
through it. Whether or not trails go through there, that I don't know. That's always a moving target. I do want to just make one comment, Carl. Not to throw a wrench. It says here, no additional clearing, and it shows that you're at the 32,000, you have a pre-existing determination, and the clearing is accurate on this map, so that's all good. The only thing is, what I see on this plan is that the two corners of this Padelbor court are in fact requiring clearing, because the clearing line goes there. So that's.
Those curvy lines like the,
Topography you're looking at?
It's hard to tell because he says clearing line, and I'm just sort of following what the aerial showed, because it's so, all I'm saying is.
it might be
let's
more
resolve
clearing.
that, that's all.
Yeah, so we need to get that clarified.
But the clearing numbers just have to be clarified.
So if we need additional, we're not asking for clearing relief, so we can deal with that with the building department.
With the planning department,
the planning
absolutely.
department.
I'm just saying that I noted that it's probably less of an issue for this board since it's gonna have to be resolved through planning. But I don't want, this issue just, and then bite you in the butt, when you go to get a building
So I
permit,
think
so.
if it is an issue, then we would deal with it with planning and the building department.
Yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm noting that survey, that it, so speak to the surveyor and just see if that's,
I
accurate,
will
that's all.
absolutely do that.
It's a small area, and it wouldn't contribute to much, but I gotta
So
know,
we are, we have pre-existing clearing status.
100%.
So if there is additional clearing, we would need a re-veg plan.
Yes.
So that's fair
That's,
point.
I wanted to get that on the record, then.
Fair point.
no, and I think, again, that's something that you can deal with planning and, the building department. Okay. Let me just ask something in terms of timing on that. I mean, is that something where we should hold up our proceeding on this application pending, clarification with the planning department?
I mean, it's a building permit.
You're not granting any relief for clearing, and
so-
so,
Okay, so in other words, we can grant, if we grant, we would grant our relief, and then you'd have to get relief from planning.
If
Separate
needed,
and apart. If needed.
If needed.
Separate and apart, okay, so it shouldn't hold us up.
shouldn't know.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, does anybody on the board have questions on this application?
No.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on 782 Brick Kiln Road? Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard?
No one.
Doesn't sound like it.
Do you hear me? No one.
Did you say none?
Yes, no one.
Okay, thank you, Peter. All right, this is mine. So we're going to close the public hearing. We're going to hold it open for written comments, including what we just talked about, the possible mitigation of noise. And written comments to May 8th with a decision on May 21st.
Second.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Mastonio?
Aye.
Mr. Redpen?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
Number 3 on the agenda, the application of Babata Corp., 29 Town Point Road, North Sea, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-59-3-14.1. Applicant requests relief from the following provisions of the Town Code to legalize an outdoor kitchen constructed without the benefit of a building permit. 1, Section 330-6 General Regulations that references Section 330-11 Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for an accessory distance from front lot line setback from 40 feet to 35.1 feet. And 2, Section 330-76D Placement of accessory building structures and uses in all districts, and Section 330-83C yards to allow the outdoor kitchen to remain within the required front yard for the principal building and any other relief necessary.
Board has jurisdiction.
Are you going to turn?
I am.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Rosemary Barone, representing the applicant, 199 Mariner Drive, Southampton, New York.
Tell us about this application, Rosemary.
So the applicant had purchased the property at 29 Town Point Road in 2018. At the time of the purchase, the property was improved with a single-family dwelling, deck, garage, outdoor shower, pool, and a 6-foot fence. It's all identified on the CO and pictured on the survey. The property has 2 front yards, Indian Road and an unnamed road, and it's located in the R10 zoning district. The R10 district allows the primary structures to be 30 feet and the accessories 40 from the road. The house was positioned with the rear of the house facing Indian Road, and the pool was constructed between the house and that road. Applicant later, after he purchased the property, constructed the subject barbecue outdoor kitchen in this area, which brings us here tonight. Applicant requests relief from Town Code Section 330-11 for a distance from the street from 40 feet to 35.1. The building department has gone back and forth whether relief from sections 330-76D and 83C is required. So we are asking for that relief as well in case, and any other relief necessary to permit the existing barbecue outdoor kitchen to remain in its location. And I keep saying outdoor kitchen / barbecue. To me, it's a barbecue. It's a big barbecue, but I just want the board to know there's no sink, there's no refrigeration, there's no gas, there's no electric. So the building department calls it an outdoor kitchen, so
That's what it is.
that's what we're going for. To go through the factors, the grant of the variance will not cause an undesirable change to the neighborhood or create a detriment to nearby properties. The outdoor kitchen can't be seen by anyone. I took these pictures this morning. If you, there's 2 different views. I can pass them down for the board. You can't see the barbecue. You
I
can't
was
see.
there.
Okay, you can't see
I
anything.
saw the beware of dog sign, and I got a little nervous about that.
Yeah, that's.
So I was like, okay, I'm not looking through that, I'm not opening that gate.
Right, but you can't see it. Along the same line, no adverse impact to the physical or environmental condition in the neighborhood. The variance is minimal, the barbecue is not noticeable, and there's no environmental impact. By the town's own definition, the variance is not substantial. We're asking for less than 5 feet, a reduction of less than 15 feet of that is required. The benefits sought in this application can't be achieved without the variance. The cost to remove and rebuild the barbecue is prohibitive. Even if it weren't, there's no logical, safe, and conforming location for the existing improvement. Because of these reasons, we ask the board grant the requested relief.
Okay, Kevin, this is yours.
It is, and we also have a memo from the building inspector on April 1 noting that the placement of accessory building structures and uses in all district, for this, it has been determined that the variance relief for 330-76D is not required for the location of the outdoor kitchen. So it looks like one of them has been forgiven.
One of the variance requests.
Yeah, I don't know if you have this. I'm assuming you do.
I do. So 70, 60, and 83C are not required. We're just looking for
Setback.
the
Yeah.
front yard setback from 40 to 35.1.
My initial reaction was, before I read the description, and then before I had reviewed the file, I'm like, well, why can't we move this? And then I saw the pictures.
You saw the picture.
So it's a substantial concrete masonry structure. And I think I answered my own question.
Okay, I do have a quote from a contractor
Thank you.
if you're
Wonderful.
interested. There's, I think, 7 of them if you want to share it.
Well, I think you need to give them to Candace first.
Sorry, Candace.
Yeah. Just one for her.
Is that just to move it or rebuild it?
It's to take it apart and put it somewhere else conforming, but I submit, I don't see any conforming location because
All that
of
easier, right.
where the house is and the pool is, there's not a safe space. We can possibly move it closer to the side yard. We have an 8-foot legal setback from there if we turned it. But I don't really see how that's gonna help anybody. I think it's gonna be cause undue hardship to applicant. And yes, he did build it without a permit. He didn't know that he needed a permit. But the town has penalties for this kind of thing, you know, double the permit fees for being here, for the building, you know, he is paying. And like I said, it's minor, and I think this is as minor as it gets. So I do think it would create undue hardship if the variance were not granted.
I did go to the site, and I unfortunately got on Indian Road, or the unnamed road. No, Indian Road.
Yeah, you can't, yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. I was completely confused, and I saw the beware of dog sign and everything else. It's not, no, it's not, you cannot
not.
see it from any of the other properties. And it's really beautifully done when I got to the other side of the property. It's a beautifully terraced, you know, landscaping and everything else. But I don't see that there's any issue here. It's not infringing on any neighbors at all. And like you said, it's really just a barbecue. It happens to be a solid barbecue, not like my Weber, but it doesn't have a sink and all the other things that go
It
along
doesn't even
with
have
it.
gas.
Or refrigerator or anything like that. So I do note that on the survey, you can relocate a shed to a conforming location.
Yeah, he didn't realize that was a front yard. So it's 8 foot off, which is a side yard,
Right.
and you don't need a permit for a shed. And he put it there really thinking he was doing the right thing, but that is
And that one you're going to relocate.
we're gonna relocate that.
Okay.
And the fence too, right?
What,
I-
they have,
yeah, I
wait a
have-
second, they do have a 6-foot fence variance
Yes, but it's.
on the
it's-
back.
Yeah, but it's a little bit off the property line. It has to be moved.
Oh, okay, to the property line. Okay, so it's infringing on the right of way.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Any-
Okay.
Anybody else?
Is there anybody, Julie?
No, nothing for me.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on 29 Town Point Road? Is there anybody on Zoom?
No one.
Okay, Kevin.
Thank you. So I'm going to make a motion to close the hearing, accepting written comments until 5/8 close of business with a decision on 5/21.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Mastonia?
Aye.
Mr. Ribbon?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess? Aye. Ms. Kane?
Hi.
Chair votes aye. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You too.
Number 4 on the agenda, application of Stephen and Sharon Goldstein, 61 Becky's Path, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-52-2-42.45. Applicant requests relief from the following provisions of the Town Code for a proposed one-story addition with rear covered porch. 1, Section 330-6 General Regulations that references Section 330-11 Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for a principal rear yard setback from 30 feet to 7.8 feet. And 2, Section 330-84G Pyramid Height for a sky plane encroachment of the rear covered porch to the south of 63.37 cubic feet and any other relief necessary.
Heather, do you want to just, you want to just introduce yourself and then we'll, are you an attorney?
I am.
Okay, yes, but so then you can just say your name. Hold on, let's get the paper straight first.
Two, I thought two was good.
Is your wife an attorney also? Is she an attorney also?
This is our architect.
Oh, architect, sorry.
Sorry about that, John.
No,
This is awesome. We have this.
Okay, so I need to swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address.
I am Debbie Kropp. I'm the architect for the applicant. My address is 31 Center Avenue, Southampton, New York.
And Heather, do you want to introduce yourself?
For the applicant, Stephen and Sharon Goldstein, 48 Main Street, West Hampton Beach, and I'm here with my client, Stephen Goldstein.
And Stephen, just say your name, please, because you're an attorney.
Stephen Goldstein.
Okay. Okay, Heather, are you presenting the application?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So the application tonight is for 61 Becky's Path. We are proposing a two-car garage, a covered porch, and entryway addition to the existing one-story dwelling. The total square footage of the addition is 617 feet. The variances we're seeking this evening is for 7.8 feet for the covered porch when 30 feet is required. The accessory structure setback doesn't apply here because it is a covered porch, so we are subject to the principal structure setback. And for pyramid relief, minor pyramid relief for 63.37 cubic feet for the covered porch. The covered porch is open on the sides, and the pitch of the roof will match the pitch of the roof of the existing one-story dwelling. So when we look at the 5 factors, the proposed addition and covered porch will not have an undesirable impact on the character of the neighborhood. So obviously, a porch is a customary accessory structure. The purpose for the addition is to have sort of an office and all-purpose room in the house. The house is a relatively modest size. And really, our biggest challenge here is the size and the configuration of the lot. So if you look at the aerial photograph that I presented to you, you can see that it's a very, very restrained and odd-shaped lot. But where we're proposing the addition isn't going to have a negative impact on the character of the neighborhood, because you can see that 451 Lumber Lane, which is the property to the south, it's heavily vegetated, and that's their flag driveway there, so it's not going to be anywhere near their principal structure. And then you can see that there's an ag reserve to the west, so there's no real neighbors on that side there. And so the reason that we're asking for the porch to be covered is obvious. It's a south-facing part of the house. It's a little bit of cover. We can have a fan inside the porch, a ceiling fan. And again, if it wasn't covered, then we'd be subject to that 8-foot setback, since the R10 zoning regulations apply here per the subdivision. There really is no feasible alternative for this proposed addition, given the shape of the lot, and also the fact that we're replacing our septic system here, and the location of the septic system is to the north, the northwest portion of the lot. And we've gotten health department approval for that septic upgrade already. It just came in today, as a matter of fact.
Very good.
And so in terms of substantiality, while, it might appear to be numerically substantial, I think, when you look at that and when you compare that to the restraints that we have based on the lot size, it's really not substantial. And it's certainly not going to have an adverse impact on the character of the neighborhood. On the environmental conditions in the neighborhood, actually positive impact, given that we're upgrading the septic system.
Julie, this is yours.
Yes. So thank you for your presentation. I do think, because of the awkward lot structure, you didn't have a lot of options. I too spent some time trying to figure out, is there another way that would require less relief? But I can't figure it out. I'm also not a builder or an architect or an engineer, but it didn't seem like there was another good option. I'll be interested in hearing whether there are any neighbors who have concerns, but otherwise, this is not giving me a lot of heartburn.
Have you heard from neighbors?
We have not.
Well, we'll ask if anybody's in the audience.
Sure.
I did go to the property. It's an absolutely lovely street. I mean, it's really a lovely street. And the backyard with the flag lot, I mean, you're not impinging upon your neighbor in the back at all. And it's very well vegetated. There's, I think you've got a lot of trees on all of the borders, it seems. It's really nicely done.
It's really the ideal spot for the addition. I also gave you a copy of the floor plans of the existing dwelling, so that you can see that on the other side is, there's really no spot on the other side, given the configuration of the house, location of the kitchen, and the bedrooms.
But one question, do you know how far the addition is to the house on the south of your property, the flag lot?
No, I don't have that measurement, because quite frankly, it's so far
Yeah, it
that I
seemed
don't
like
think
it, yeah.
it would, it's nowhere near that at all.
Anybody else on the,
What's the height of the, no pyramid relief, right? Just- I'm sorry, there's like 63 feet, okay. And the height of the structure, roughly?
It is 15 feet, that's for the porch, and then it's another 20 feet off the floor, and the floor is about 2 feet off, so it's about 22 feet to the total height. So the pyramid relief is only requested for the covered porch.
Yeah, no,
The
I
main
get that.
structure,
I get
right,
that.
right,
meets it.
right.
I think it's a modest request
Yeah.
with a highly constrained lot with a
Very.
series of unique circumstances that I don't imagine would ever repeat themselves.
I mean, I would also note that the principal building, or primary structure is on that section where the covered porch is gonna be put is only 15.6 feet off the lot line, so
It has a CO.
you don't have that much room, and
No,
you're
yeah.
already in, technically not within the setback that it's supposed to be at, so I see no reason
It's
to.
almost like a triangle lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's-
it's a crazy
Sort of
configuration.
an afterthought in a
Yeah, but you know,
subdivision, right?
when you drive past it, you don't get the sense that it's like a really weird lot. I mean, it's so well done, it's really beautifully done, so,
And the pyramid relief is nothing,
yeah.
literally nothing.
Okay, let me see if there's anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on 61 Becky's Path. Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to be heard on 61 Becky's Path?
No one.
Okay, Julie?
Okay, so we are going to close the public hearing, keep it open for written submissions until May 8, with a decision slated for May 21.
Second.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Redmond?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess? Aye. Chair votes aye. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Number 5 on the agenda, the application of Kelly Waters, 9 Shell Road, Hampton Bays, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-258-5-23. Applicant requests relief from Town Code Section 330-6 General Regulations that references Section 330-11 Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for an accessory side yard setback from 10 feet to 3.9 feet and an accessory rear yard setback from 10 feet to 7.5 feet for the proposed relocation of a hot tub on a non-conforming lot and any other relief necessary.
The board has jurisdiction? Nope, the board does not have jurisdiction because nobody's here for it, I
Anybody
guess?
Another
I am here. Can you hear me?
Oh, did you submit your affidavits to anyone, or
I had mailed it last week.
what about the affidavit of posting? We need the affidavit of posting.
I had mailed to my neighbors, and I had it posted in my yard.
No, but you're supposed to do an affidavit of posting?
Ruh-roh.
Like you're supposed to
Okay.
fill one out and it's supposed to be notarized today and submitted to the board?
I'm sorry, I had mailed everything. I didn't submit it in person.
But you posted and you didn't fill out the affidavit? Did you post?
Yes, I posted.
Do you have any pictures of it?
No, we need the affidavit.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have.
I mean,
Okay, so the problem is that
Not
unless we
adjourn it.
have all of these documents in our hands at the meeting, we don't really, you're not qualified to have jurisdiction with us yet. So we could put you off to another date.
it's gotta be re-advertised, re-posted, everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't be able to submit it tomorrow or anything, or is it?
No,
No,
it's
I mean, I'm sorry, but, it's just a technicality that we have to deal with. But we could get you on the next agenda.
Okay.
Okay, so, but, speak to Candace if you have any questions about what you need to submit. And then, whose is this? This is, John. This is yours. Do you agree that we should put it on for the next?
For the 5-7,
5
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. It sometimes is
Over
confusing.
5-7?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Are
It wouldn't
you-
be the next meeting? It would.
That is the next, yeah.
That is the next
Oh,
meeting.
it's all the way next month. Okay. Oh, okay. I
so
understand.
that's going to be a re-advertisement.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll move for that relief.
And as I said, please, before we vote,
tomorrow or no?
please check with
We're in tomorrow,
Candace to
right?
make sure that you understand exactly what you need to do. Because it
Okay,
does
I
get
understand.
confusing.
Yeah, I'll email Candace.
Okay, that's great. All right, so go ahead,
Okay,
John.
so I move to
Turn from the ad.
adjourn the number 5, what?
Advertise.
Okay, so I move to re-advertise the application of Kelly Waters for hearing on 5/7.
Is there
Okay.
a second?
I understand. Okay.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
No vote.
No vote, sorry.
No vote.
So we didn't obtain
Oh,
We're a
jurisdiction.
mess.
All right, we didn't have jurisdiction, see, even I get
Yep,
confused,
yep.
Yeah.
which is not difficult to do. Okay. All right, we're up to the next.
Moving on, number 6 on the agenda, application of Kathleen and David Nuzzo, 11 Tuttle Lane, Remsenburg, Spionk, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-380-2-114. Applicant requests relief from Town Code Section 330-6 General Regulations that references Section 330-11 Residence Districts Table of Dimensional Regulations for an accessory side yard setback from 20 feet to 13.5 feet to legalize a bocce ball court constructed without the benefit of a building permit on a non-conforming lot and any other relief necessary.
Board has jurisdiction.
Kathleen, are you an attorney? No, I'm not. Okay, let me swear you in. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name and address.
I'm Kathleen Muzo, and I live at 11 Tuttle Lane in Luxembourg. And that's the property we're going to be talking about. Sorry, should I go a little closer?
Yeah, push it closer, because you have a
Is that
soft
better?
voice. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so tell us about this application.
Okay, I'm just going to give you a little brief introduction, and then I can go through the 5 factors.
Okay.
So, thank you for the opportunity to present the appeal. And I'm just here to respectfully request a variance for the bocce court we added to our property, purchased a fixer-upper in Remsenburg in 2022, and navigated the permitting process for a full home renovation, screen porch addition, a pool house, and garage combination with its own septic system. The entire project was completed last summer and required approximately 10 separate permits, each of which we filed for carefully. We were, however, completely unaware that a bocce court required a permit. Nothing on the town website indicated that it would be classified as a sport court, and our landscape contractor advised us that the permit wasn't necessary. He's since acknowledged his error and graciously included a written note in our variance application explaining the oversight. A third inspector arrived on the property and let us know that the permit was required. And then, of course, I went to the town office and paid the double fee. The court, unfortunately, was constructed about 5 feet within the setback. In some areas, it's at 13.5 feet, and then in other areas, it's at 15 feet. It's on a slight angle on the property, but it's about 5 feet into the setback, which is required at 20 feet. And just to address the 5 factors, the impact on the character of the neighborhood, the homes in the area are all zoned R40 on large acre lots, so there's plenty of distance between the properties. The court is located in the backyard, behind a fence, and behind lots of mature trees. We've spoken with the neighbors. The one who it's closest to at 13 Tut Hill was unfazed by the court and was sympathetic that we had to go through this process. The neighbor at 9 Tut Hill had the same reaction, and she has since sent a letter on our behalf, as have 2 other neighbors supporting our appeal. Can the benefit sought be achieved by another method? It cannot. Over the past 4 years, we've made substantial improvements to the property, which many neighbors have acknowledged and expressed appreciation for. We don't have the financial resources to relocate the court, and there really is no suitable alternative location in the yard. Moving it several feet in one direction would place it too close to the pool, while relocating it to the rear of the yard would make it the dominant feature of the space, rendering the remainder of the yard unusable for any other purpose. Is the request substantial? No, it's really not. It's just about 5 feet that we're looking for. Does it have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood? Bocce court is fundamentally different in construction from other sport courts, such as tennis, pickleball, or basketball. It's just a court of fine gravel and sand contained by 4 boards, really more closely resembling a sandbox in construction than a paved surface. The surface is fully permeable, similar to the sandbox that I mentioned, or a gravel driveway, and therefore has no adverse physical or environmental impact on the land. And most notably, bocce is a very quiet game, just rolling a ball across a pebbled surface, and is in fact quieter than many common lawn games that do not require permits, such as horseshoes, badminton, and cornhole. The court is used infrequently, generates no noise disturbance, and as I mentioned, the neighboring residents were supportive, and also many of them were just unaware that the court even existed. Was this self-created? It really was not intentionally self-created. We've diligently obtained permits for every other improvement made to the property. We just didn't find any reference to bocce playing surfaces on the town's website, and our landscape contractor assured us that no permit was required. Had we known a permit was necessary, we definitely would have obtained one, and would have saved ourselves lots of time and money by doing so. So that's what I'm presenting this evening.
Kathleen. Bob, this is yours.
Aye. Sorry you had to come for this.
Yes.
I don't think there's any issue with it. It's a relatively quiet sport, except, yeah, I have no problem with it. And you have the arborvitae you planted along there, it seems to be. You planted, it looks like there's planting.
Oh, yeah, we have like large arborvitaes on the property line, and then there's a massive tree that is maybe like 4 or 5 stories tall.
Yes, yeah, it's fine, I have no problem with it.
Okay, fantastic.
Anybody else?
Nothing to add.
I just wanted to, I know you're going to make the comment about the sports court and distinguishing it from other sports courts, so go ahead. I think this is an important point.
Yeah.
What she just said. So the, you know, I appreciated the presentation. It was efficient and I think reasonably well presented. I only have one concern, and I'm sure you can dispose of it, which is there's no lighting intended to play, you know, midnight bocce or anything like that, right?
I wish I stayed up to midnight, but I'm like, you know, in bed by 9:30, definitely.
You'd be surprised what
Yeah.
we have to deal with occasionally. So I'm being a little facetious, but also serious about the lighting. And then I think, you know, however we consider this, you know, it's a sports court technically called. I think the analogy of a sandbox is more accurate. You know, if you wanted to dig it up, you're probably a couple of wheelbarrows filled and pull the boards up and it goes away. So, which is differentiated between a pickleball court and a basketball court and things that make a lot of noise that emanate off the property and contribute to the discomfort or the irritation of adjacent properties. So I think all things considered here, you have sufficiently mitigated all that.
Yeah.
Great.
Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on 11 Tut Hill Lane?
I think Julie had something.
No, I was just saying I'm extremely comfortable with the resolution here.
Yeah, okay. Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard?
No one.
All right, Bob, this is yours.
Okay, looking to close the public hearing, hold it open for written submissions until May 8th, with a decision on May 21st.
Second.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Repin.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Good job.
Thank you very much,
Take
guys.
care.
Okay.
Thank you. Number 7 on the agenda, Macau LLC, Henrico LLC, and 61 BHSH, Bridgehampton Sag Harbor Turnpike LLC. 1, 55, and 61 Bridgehampton, Sag Harbor Turnpike, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-71-3-8.1, 5.5, and 5.4. Applicant requests relief from prior ZBA decision number 5959 dated December 16, 1980, which requires approval from the Zoning Board of Appeals for any requests for accessory uses or structures or expansion of the permitted uses on the property. With respect to the property located at 1 Bridgehampton, Sag Harbor Turnpike, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-71-3-8.1. Condition number 1, to allow for the construction of additional buildings. Condition number 2, to allow the expansion of a basement below the existing spa building and barn building with direct exterior stair access. And condition number 10, to allow the proposed expansion of the existing permitted inn, spa, and restaurant uses as follows. 1, construction of 2 additional cottages. 2, addition of 1 guest room to the existing inn. 3, addition of 5 guest rooms to the existing cottage buildings. 4, an increase in the restaurant seating from 75 seats to 144 seats. And 5, an increase in the square footage of the basement below the spa building and the barn building. And with respect to the property is located at 61 Bridgehampton, Sag Harbor Turnpike, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-71-3-5.4, and 55 Bridgehampton, Sag Harbor Turnpike, Bridgehampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-71-3-5.5. Condition number 10, to allow construction of a sewage treatment plant and an underground parking facility, permitted accessory uses to be located on these lots.
The board has jurisdiction.
Good evening. For the applicant, my name is John Bennett. Bailey Reed from the firm is here as well. Bill Campbell, the owner, is with us.
Am I swearing in anybody who's not an attorney?
Well, you'd have to swear in Mr. Marks, Mr. Naroda, Mr. Wortman, and Mr. Gaudiello.
Okay, so why don't you all just, raise your right hands? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, and then you have to individually say your names. Yeah, go up to the podium, maybe.
Good evening, my name is Robert Marks. I'm an architect with Roger Ferris and Partners at 2495 Montauk Highway.
Robert, is your last name M-A-R-C-K-S or K-S? No, X.
Thank you.
Okay. Architect?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so say it slowly so Candace can get it all down.
Stephen Naroda, N-I-E-R-O-D-A, with Aris Design, A-R-A-I-Y-S, landscape architecture.
Hi there, I'm David Wortman, spelled W-O-R-T-M-A-N, with VHB Engineering. Thank you.
I'm optional. My name is William Campbell. I live at 546 Little Noyak Path in Watermill. I am a co-owner of Topping Rose House. Thank you.
My name is Vincent A. Gaudiello. I am the civil engineer and land surveyor on the project. I am the principal with the Rayner Group, P-E-L-S-P LLC.
Okay. Thank you very much for being so clear. Okay, John, are you going to present the application?
Yes, and Mr. Marks is going to present it with me, and David and Steve and Vin are here also. So this is a unique application. We are not requesting any dimensional relief whatsoever, or relief from any of the use provisions of the code. That was, you'll see, given the history of this, why that's the case. Let me show you what the property looks like now. This is a survey of the property, and I want to draw your attention to a couple of things. One is there are 2 lots to the north. One is currently improved by a single-family residence, which we will raise, take away, take down. And the other one is a separate buildable lot. The proposal is to merge those 2 lots into this entire proposal.
So the 3 lots will be merged together?
Yes.
Okay.
And the lot to the south, where everyone drives past and
Right,
sees
right. Goes
Topping
in there,
Road,
yeah, right.
that actually is, in itself, a lot that was, as pursuant to a 2010 decision, merged.
Mm-hmm.
So the house used to, the inn used to sit on the southerly of this
Right,
portion.
right, right.
So what you have here is one lot, which is the result of a merger, as a result of this board's prior decision, and then two lots to the north.
Okay, so that's the 200,000 plus square feet that you talk about in terms of area.
Yes,
lot
all of it.
All of it. That's all of it. Although we're increasing the number of hotel rooms, these cottages, and the size of the restaurant, these two additional building parcels, which are each approximately 40,000 square feet each, a builder's acre, I like to call them. We're adding 2 acres to the facility, but none of the additional infrastructure of the hotel living area or the restaurant itself is going to go there. This is essentially going to function from a visual point of view and an above-ground point of view as green space. So how are we doing that? I think this is really tells a lot of the tale. Let me hand these out.
Did you give them to Candace?
Oh,
Okay. All right, Bailey, you know.
Okay, so I can.
You can pass them out, yeah.
You're good.
Thank you.
And one of the great things about it, one of the things that from just a visual point of view, as great as the existing facility is, I think it's just been so wonderful to have as a destination point for Bridgehampton is because of the requirement, the parking requirements, the center of the building is very heavily parked.
It is.
It's
74 spots, right?
It's huge. So one of the nice things about, this is a sort of a before and after. Filled up parking lot, parking. Most of it goes away. Where is it going? It's going to go underneath the two merged lots. And the new wastewater system, well, I shouldn't say, it's actually, it's a sewage treatment plant that is going to go to the north in the merged lots. So the additional parcels are not going to be used for guest accommodation and will, at grade, essentially be an expanded green space. It's a great thing. It's not cheap, building underground parking, but we thought in terms of presenting a much better visual, it just makes all the sense in the world. So in 1980, this board, just a little bit of history because I'm sure you guys are familiar with it, but this is a very studied application. We spent a lot of time on this application trying to make sure that it met what we think would be the concerns. In 1980, this board granted what looks more like a special permit than a variance. We're in consideration of preserving that hotel, the inn that had been there forever. The board established a list of permitted uses on the property, right in the decision, the 1980 decision. There's a bunch of uses that they established, but amongst those uses that they established on the parcel were an inn/hotel and a restaurant. Nobody ever executed on that decision until my client, with an amazing amount of vision, analyzed the property, analyzed what the land use history had been of the property, and saw that that decision granted all these uses, but of course said if you want to, you have to come back for any further expansion to this board, which makes all the sense in the world, so you can control it. So in 2010, approval was sought to further develop the property in accordance with that 1980 decision, which gave that palette of uses. And as part of that 2010 approval, the cottages, which are the more modern structures located along the easterly line of the property, and there's another structures, but mostly that's what you see, were constructed in addition to several additions and other improvements to the property. So that's what happened here. Dimensional relief was required, pyramid relief, setback relief, all that sort of thing. But one of the beauties of the merger and where we've located the proposed new cottages is that we don't need any dimensional relief. As a matter of fact, I think we actually reduce the amount of coverage. We'll have that percentage for you, but net, it's a much visually, we think, and we hope you'll agree with us, a much better look. So again, the grant of the variances for the cottages, the grant had some substantial dimensional relief, and none is requested here. The 2010 approval was for parking and for a chromoglass system, which is essentially a less technologically advanced sewage treatment plant on what was the adjacent parcel, but now is one of those two merged parcels. I'm just showing you, this is all as-built, so these got merged in. No, I'm not, this is as-built. This is as-built. So these two parcels got merged in. Let me go back to that. So again, this is going away, this is gonna be vacant other than subterranean, and the new cottage buildings will go here, as per is shown on the proposed plan. So we're now back to the board, as required by the 1980 decision, as required by the 2010 decision, for some additional guest accommodations. But all of that is happening, even though we're rolling these two lots to the north into the facility, all of that is happening on the merged lot that was created as of the 2010 decision. At first, there was a thought that we could intersperse them a little bit more, that there were some more units involved. And again, I say this, you're just gonna have to trust me about this. A lot of your job I do. And why, you say, why do I do that? Because people will come to me with a certain plan, with certain dimensions, and certain number of units, house, big and pyramid encroachments, and I'll say to them, I don't think you're gonna get that.
Thank you, John. Thank you for interceding.
No, because the better
I agree.
applicants, lawyers and applicants, they do that. So we decided, we pushed really hard, redesigned, to keep it on the original merged part, not the original, the parcel that came out of the 2010 decision. So that's where all the new, in effect, habitable space and restaurant and those other cottages are going. And only this subterranean new sewage treatment plant, which is new and improved and better, because Kevin, you probably remember, chromoglass systems, they stopped approving those a long time ago, right?
Yes, very dated.
But that's what's there now.
I understand.
And so we got the newer and better thing going on there, which is, I think is great. So they'll have those additional cottages. And again, Rob Marks will take you through that in full. By the way, it's instead of a chromoglass system, it's something called a BEST system, which is more current and technologically advanced. And both Dave Wortman and Vin Gaudiel are here to talk to you about that. If you have questions about it. But again, all that's going to happen on these two merged parcels. So like the garage, the STP will be located below ground, significant reduction in impervious spaces and the expansion of the green space. Currently, you enter off of Bridgehampton Sag Harbor Turnpike into that large central parking lot, which is going to go away. Other than the entrance will be there. When I say go away, in large part it will go away. But the entrance will stay the same. And the great thing about this entrance is, as a result of some very significant site plan and environmental review, that's where both the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Board created the site entrance. And that's not changing. We submitted as part of the extended long-form assessment traffic study that said this still functions extremely well. And it's not surprising with the proposal. It's not surprising to me because you have a traffic control device here. And you also have, in terms of sight line, and I'll keep my day job and not be a traffic engineer, but I just want to let you know that we're not changing the entrance to that, which has worked extremely well. The only other entrance onto the site will be for every day, a technician has to come to this every day. A technician has to come to this sewage treatment plant.
Every day?
Every day, and test it. And that's one trip in, one trip out, which obviously a lot better than two houses there, which would probably be about, I don't know, Anthony would know better than I am, but the average house probably 8 in, 8 out, so, but that's the only.
Where's that entrance?
That's at the northerly part of the,
Okay.
northerly part of the drive, of the property. But again, one in, one out, that's it. I want to make very sure that everyone's aware
Where
of
it
that.
says stone driveway,
Stone driveway, yeah.
and it goes through, it goes under crushed, proposed gravel, whatever, yeah, okay, I got it.
Guy drives in his
Got
truck,
it.
and they look at it every day, and I guess one of the things, and this is, you know, one of the great things about being a lawyer is you learn a little bit about a lot of things, but Ben tells me that the guy actually goes there and this, like, I guess, does some water analysis in there every day.
Every day.
And then reports. So again, that was very, very important. So again, this is a very studied application. We reviewed all the prior decisions and reviewed your decisions and the existing zoning law with the building inspector. We submitted a copy of Sean McDermott's determination with our application. So, consistent with Sean's determination, all the proposed guest accommodations will remain wholly within the limits of the existing one Hampton Sag Harbor Turnpike, which is where they were in your 2010 determination. The underground parking and STP, as Sean confirmed, are permitted accessory uses, which can be constructed on the two residential parcels located to the north of the property. Because if you look at the zoning code, an STP is permitted everywhere, parking is permitted everywhere, and Sean said that these are permitted accessory uses and can live on these two residential parcels. I think one of the things that you need for an STP, and again, I don't know, Bailey, we were looking at this the other day, it might require a special exception approval from the planning board, but we're going there anyway for the site plan. So they may actually have a special exception of component of, I'm not sure.
Me either, actually.
Excuse me?
Me either.
Yeah, we'll look at that. But if it needs to be, we'll just file a special exception as part of the site plan application. But we had a, what do you call it, a pre-application hearing? And again, I'm biting my tongue when I say this because you never know what happens, but I think it went pretty well. Everybody was, had some concerns and questions. What is
Nodding.
No,
He's nodding.
Oh, he's nodding.
Yeah, don't get so,
That was accurate.
don't get so, yeah.
Who's paranoid?
If I may add, John, to the board while you're doing this, a lot of what this board's going to ask and talk to John about, understand that the planning board is doing the site plan review on this, right? So they're the ones that are looking at, layout and everything, and they're the ones that are going to do the environmental review for this as well. So, just understand that there is, the planning board as a lead agency is going to take a hard look at the layout and everything else. And
Who approves the sewer treatment, Department of Health?
the health department is still the agency that approves that.
So Sean's letter, I think we submitted our letter request to him, which had enclosures. He was looking at the conceptual site plan when he wrote the letter. He says both parking and the STP, existing and proposed, that is the existing and the one on the parcels to be merged, are permitted accessory uses. So again, we're not here for any, request for a change in the uses or the categorization of uses or any dimensional relief. And I think that's really important. We really did our homework on this because I wanted to take this application slowly and make sure that it was something that was consistent. So again, the building inspector found that those are both accessory uses. So again, we're here to request pursuant to the 80 grant.
So if I understand
Yes.
it,
Yes.
the 1980 variance and the 2010 said, if you're doing anything, even if you don't
come back here.
require
Gotta
a
go-
setback or
Yep.
whatever,
Have to
you
come back
must
here.
come back to the zoning board. So that
Absolutely.
is why you're
That's why we're
here.
here. That's why we're here.
Okay,
That's
so
why
just
we're
so
here.
that we clarify it for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's got nothing to do with, the setbacks and the pyramid and the blah. It has to do with that you gotta come back because you're developing the property further.
I think that back in 80, they loved the fact this thing was going to come down. This pretty historic structure was going to come down. So they said, you know.
Before you do anything.
In exchange, excuse me?
Before you do anything, you gotta come back.
Yeah,
No, it was gonna come down in 1980.
yeah.
And in exchange for preserving this, you know, they essentially said, here's a recipe of uses that you can use in restaurant, hotel, or one of them. And then in 2010, again, they said as long as the parcels were merged. And then Sean says, of course, now we can come back and ask you, but all of the cottages, the restaurant and everything has to be on that
Okay.
Bridgehampton.
Okay, so that makes it it makes it a lot easier for us to focus what our review is at this point.
Oh, and again, we're.
Did you want to say something? The architect wants to say.
Oh, yes, just, Rob, I'm gonna let you go in, because I just got a little script, and then I'll shut up and let you talk, I'm sorry. So we would have a covenant that obviously we would merge the parcels, and that all grade space above this STP and the parking, with the exception of an entrance, of course, to the underground storage, and maybe some, you know, some minimal infrastructure at the top will remain green space. That's important. We do have some letters of support, and Bailey had prepared an aerial. Now, the letters of support that we have quite a few of them, but the aerial only contains the people that were, you know, close by. Close. Because we got quite a few letters of support, but some of them were down Ocean Road and everything, which is wonderful.
Because they like the restaurant.
Yeah.
Want to keep going.
I mean, you know, that's wonderful, but, you know, I want it from a standing point of view,
Yeah,
I wanted to
you
show you.
want the neighbors, the adjacent neighbors, yeah.
So we have that.
Now, I just wanted to clarify that you said you would covenant merging all the parcels, and you would maintain the grade, essentially.
There would be, we would have underground parking.
Yes, but
And we were not gonna put any structures on the top,
Right,
other than the entrance into the parking.
And it would stay at the same level, the upper part would stay at the same level?
I'm gonna let you
All right.
talk to that.
Yes, the grade is going to be
Yeah.
reestablished.
And that you would
But we would
maintain-
reestablish the grade at the same level.
Yes,
That's the important
okay, that's what I.
question. From a visual point of view, that's
Right,
very
that's what I
important.
wanted to clarify. And also that the green space above the garage would remain green space, you would covenant that?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
no pickleball on, no tennis courts, nothing, green space, correct? All right, well,
No, no, Padel is smaller and less.
oh, please,
right?
let's not even get into that. But I'm just
That's the
clarifying.
next application.
That's the
Yeah.
next application.
Get the next application. I'm telling you now, don't even try it, okay.
No, we're gonna covenant
Okay,
against that.
okay, good.
You can't say it's gonna be green space and then say 5 years later, oh, by the way.
Oh,
So, yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you'd have to come in and ask for relief of the covenant, which I don't think this board is usually smiles on.
No, I wouldn't think so, but go ahead.
So, but what I want to do is, I'm going to save a couple things to say after Robert Marks speaks, but why don't you take the board just through this proposal, because it's really been a labor of love over the last 3 or 4 years. And I don't want to steal any of Rob's thunder from this, because it's been a wonderful thing just to watch. Many phone calls.
Bailey, can you give one to Anthony too?
Many Zoom conferences.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't take one, I'll give it to Anthony.
Well, I have to say that this is one of the most paper-laden
Thank you.
applications we've ever received. I mean, it is.
Make sure you have everything.
Yeah, I know, thank you. Lots of it is duplicate, but,
Yeah. That's hard to say.
Before I start, I'm not an attorney, I'm an architect, but I did read the minutes of the zoning board of appeals in 1980. And I believe what the history is that while the inn, what's now the inn, was originally built as a single-family residence, over the arc of its lifetime, going through the 20s and the 30s and the Depression and other things, it stopped being a single-family residence. It was a pop-up store at one point. It was also a tavern and boarding house before zoning regulations. And my understanding is that the board, in light of that previously existing usage of the property, determined that it would be acceptable to continue. The list the list of permitted uses are consistent with what building had been in the past. I think we have that. Okay, sorry. So,
Okay.
may repeat a little bit as I warm up. I'll keep it brief. My name is Robert Marks. I'm an architect with Roger Ferris and Partners. We designed the original Topping Rose house, and we've been asked to look at the expansion. As John said, the proposed expansion is to the two lots to the north, one of which is vacant, one of which has an existing single-family residence, which will be removed as part of this work. The plan then is for these two lots to remain green, to remain a green belt buffer and transition from the restaurant, the hotel use, to the adjacent single-family properties. These two properties will have the two accessory uses that John mentioned, the sewage treatment plant and underground parking, which doubles back underneath the hotel property. The ramp will be on the northern lot.
Before you move on, the proposed cottages there, do they overlap onto this Lot 5? Is that correct?
No, they
Because
don't.
it looks like it, when I'm flipping like this, it looks like they do.
This is the property line comes right off of this jog here.
Okay.
And the property, it comes right down to here, jogs back, and then goes like this. So we,
They're at a zero lot line, in effect, but there's no lot there. There's not gonna be any lot there.
No, I understand the
But it's
merger,
on that
but,
original.
okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood that it was staying on the original.
yeah, with John's guidance, we shifted it south, and we're
Okay.
keeping it on the original lot.
There's a little bit of gnashing of teeth with that, but they went.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
So the same view, aerial rendering. The property is currently anchored by the historic house on the corner of the Sag Harbor Turnpike and Montauk Highway. The house will remain, the old barn will remain, the newer buildings will remain. There'll be no exterior modifications to the historic house or to the barn. We propose one new above-ground building. These are the new cottages in the north. These will contain 12 guest suites. There will be 3 additional new guest suites in small, discrete infill additions to the existing cottages here. So that's a total of 15 new guest suites. Oh,
You want that back?
just a second. The new buildings will match the existing cottages in height, in details, and materials. New cottages will have a green roof like the existing cottages.
Tens of millions, right?
There is a swimming pool now in the yard facing the Montauk Highway. As we remove the surface parking and put it underground, we've created an interior courtyard, which is a green space, and that will have the new swimming pool. The proposed underground parking will reduce surface parking from 74 spaces to 27 spaces. The other 97 spaces will be below grade. That will decrease the overall amount of impervious cover on the site by 11,000 feet. And that's not relative to the new larger property. That's in absolute terms. Even with the new building, the overall site coverage will be reduced.
What did you say, how much, by how much?
11,000 square feet.
How many levels of underground parking will there
Only
be?
one of that
Just
one,
one?
yeah.
So, this is the below grade level.
Okay.
So the underground parking will be, so the ramp is here. There's some parking here with green roof. We're making that quite deep so that we can establish viable vegetation on top. And then that doubles back under the remaining surface parking at the entrance to the site.
We have plenty of, fortunately, we have plenty of depth to groundwater, so it's all gonna work. Yeah.
Right.
Which was one of my first questions, Kevin.
The underground parking will be an open design with stairwells and light wells, providing natural airflow, so no mechanical ventilation will be required. This is a cross-section near the front of the property, just one level below grade parking. We have deep wells for planting, and we have light wells for ventilation, light, and also for access for stairs up and down to the lower level. Excavation for the parking structure will be 15 feet below grade, which is just 1 foot deeper than the foundations for the existing buildings. And well above groundwater, which is at elevation 28 in this area.
Is that a recent elevation test, or?
That was when we put in the STP the first time around, and that's what's on the USGS data, but we will recertify that.
28, okay.
So this is another aerial view of the property from the north, looking back at the property, parking in the center, and then developed with the new building here, the new pool, and the new green belt on the northern lots. STP will all be below grade, and parking will all be below grade and planted over with the ramp here.
Is there any even minor infrastructure from the STP that pokes its head above the grade?
There is some equipment. We're showing it here. There's an emergency generator, and there is an electric panel and some other panels, but there is a maintenance building that when you reference the technician that comes in daily, the current facility, the Chroma glass system has a 400 square foot building in the center of the parking area there. In the new system, we're going to put that building or that function in the basement of the new building.
Of the new cottages?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So that's where the control, that's where they do the water testing.
Okay.
But there's no building in here, but there is equipment, there is a generator, there is an electric panel, and a couple of other panels, which we're representing here.
So, but other than, just want to make sure, because one of the great things that moves this is the green space.
Yeah.
Other than the entrance and that green roof over it.
And there is a fence.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to put a fence around it. That's required too.
No.
How high is the fence?
It's 6 feet high.
All right, you have
and
to
it's
get a
tall.
permit for that.
Okay.
I know, just mentioning it, because we deal with fences. And you're going to be doing landscape, like the trees. I know it's pretty heavily vegetated already, but
Yeah.
you're going to get to that at some point?
Well,
Yeah, Steve will let us
Okay,
run you through that.
okay, good.
so, just in closing, so the proposed site modifications will not substantially change existing views. The site is currently screened with landscape planting along the Montauk Highway and the Sag Harbor Turnpike, except for areas that are intentionally open to provide views to the historic inn. The existing landscape planting along the flanking streets will remain substantially unchanged by the proposed renovation. Our design strategy is to locate the new building deep within the center of the site with landscape planting on all sides and to locate all necessary infrastructure below grade. Ensuring that the current visual appeal is preserved and enhanced. There have been questions about
How are you going to do it?
how are you going to do this?
Okay.
So
One of the things that if I may, just want to interject a little bit. The
more
planning board
paper.
was concerned about the construction methodology, so we have a very, very, very extensive construction methodology. Kelly, I'll let you do the honors of all these.
This is the stage 1, 2, and 3? Yeah,
This
okay.
is the architect's cartoon of what it is, and that's from Turner Construction, substantiating the concept. The concept is that when we built the original facility, it's now the parking lot, the courtyard in the center was the staging area, and we used that for contractor parking, staging materials, dumpsters, and everything else, and we worked out in all directions. What concept here would be a variation on that. We would use the existing parking lot as a staging area and do the STP, the north half of the parking structure, the new cottages, and these infill additions.
It's just that these are just infills, there's exist, yeah.
In phase one, and then use the roof of the parking deck as a staging area for the courtyard to finish, to put in the swimming pool, south half of the parking.
Which is, you get all those construction vehicles off
Off
right
the-
away and all of that.
Well, off of Bridgehampton's, whatever, yeah.
Right, and the trick is to only use that one curb cut.
What's the length of time you imagine
I
both
think this
one
construction
and two would likely go?
I think they've listed the construction time as 18 to 20 months.
Okay.
That's pretty,
Even the size of the,
I know, it's pretty impressive if it's 18 to 20 months.
Wait, I'm sorry, could you repeat the length of time for the construction?
20 months. 18 to 20 months.
Thank you.
also, you know, you're making revenue while this is happening, so the incentive is to get it
going.
Did you want to?
I'm sorry, are you saying that you're going to close down the restaurant and the inns and all the cottages during the construction? Is that correct?
Yes, so perfect.
Okay. Okay, well, then it makes sense to make it 18 and 20 months.
Steve, do you want to talk?
The owner says 16.
I love it.
Well, as they say, from your mouth to God's ear. Okay.
2 seasons is too much.
Okay, hopeless.
Steve Naroda with Aris Design, you kind of approach.
Yeah, sure, but you have to use the podium because unless one of you would like to step away.
Go ahead, sit down, Steve. Do you mind if I put the site plan?
Okay, because we only have like the three.
Which one should I use, Rob? This one. So, Steve Naroda with Aris Design. So just to quickly walk you through the landscape plan, this is south, this is Montauk Highway here on the bottom. The idea is we have a large screen planting along the east property line currently. We want to bring that north, bring it up to the east side and wrap it around the north side to really create a heavy layer of vegetation there. With the sewage treatment plant, we're seeing it as an opportunity to create a really nice green space because we're going to create layers of planting here, a native meadow with a walking path around, and then more screen plantings wrapping around the plant itself. With regard to the parking structure, we worked really carefully with the team and tried to figure out the depth we needed to really create robust vegetation, not only lawn, but trees and shrubs over the garage. So where we have 90+ spaces that we would have needed on grade, going below grade, now we can plant that area. It's a really great opportunity.
I know, when I went to look at the property just today, actually, where the existing home is, that you're gonna take down, I mean, it's a little bare in terms of the vegetation to the property owners to the south. So I'm glad to see that you're,
It's gonna be very heavy.
yeah, okay, okay. Let me just ask, I don't know who to ask this question to. Noise and odor for the treatment plant.
Well, I asked that question, and the nice thing about it was I was told that you can go to the existing, which is not not the greatest thing, newest and greatest thing, and those haven't been issues. But Dave, you want to talk about that? 'Cause that's interesting, because that's coming up, of course, in the village with the big dog park / sewage treatment
Yeah,
plant. Yeah.
well, the switching of properties,
Switching of
yeah,
properties,
it's
yeah.
more than just that.
No, it is, yes, of course.
Sure. Hi, again, David Wortman with VHB. Our role is part of the team as the environmental consultant. And there is a sanitary waste engineer that's part of the overall project team who has designed preliminarily the system, sized it, located it, et cetera. They've offered a lot of detail about how the system functions. I'm invited up, I think, to speak about it because that information is presented in the secret environmental documents that have been supplied to the board as well as to the planning board.
Extended EAF.
That's right. And there is further detail available to you in those documents, in your records. But to answer simply, by virtue of the fact that these operations are going to be located underground, noise is essentially attenuated. As well, the question of odor and noise are somewhat related, but management of exhaust is a part of the system. And the treatment system itself is high functioning, as you've heard from Mr. Bennett. Latest available technology, the one that's currently approved by the health department. And so the function itself has an effect of decreasing the amount of odor that would be produced in the first place. But as well, there are advanced odor treatment systems built right into the apparatus, including a 2-phase granular activated carbon filtration system. So virtually no odor is expected to emanate from the facility, and certainly not expected to be a nuisance to the neighbors.
And that's been the experience with the
don't have any
existing
jurisdiction over
system
there,
as
do we?
well.
That's right.
And this is going to be cutting edge, so we expect even better performance to the extent that it would be.
Well, given that your current system is smack dab in the middle of the property, if you were having an odor problem, I'm sure you would have heard about it, so.
Yeah, it doesn't work with the
Yeah.
restaurant and.
No, and the cottages, yes, no, I think so, yeah. Okay, so that's, thank you very much.
What's the present flow and what will the new flow be when operational, what's that flow look like?
Sure. So under existing conditions, the facility is estimated to generate 7,500 gallons per day.
Okay.
That's how, what we would call a design flow, right, based on what the use is. And of course, things are seasonal and so on. Sometimes those factors are, have like a factor of error built into them, whatever. Using those same factors, the future condition with the additional cottages, the additional restaurant improvements and so forth, that would increase to approximately 11,500. So around a 50% increase in flow as compared to existing conditions, or around, in other words, around 4,000 gallons per day in design flow.
Yeah.
Again, that's treated, obviously treated water.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, there's a whole lot of discussion in some of the county's sub-watershed planning to try to reuse effluent on site if at all possible, and it serves two purposes. One is you reuse water rather than excessively irrigating, and there's always irrigation problems on the South Fork in the summertime. And the other thing that it does is, because the property owner might be considering doing that, they have a real keen interest in keeping the water quality exceptionally good, right? Because if you have guests walking around and the 4 o'clock irrigation is foul, there's a problem, right? But that wouldn't be the reason to do it.
Yeah.
It's just a hidden motivation for everybody, and to the extent that can be considered, happening in lots of other places, and
Sure.
to the extent that that's possible here, I think that'd be worth considering.
Yeah, I think if it is, compatible with the health department's regulations
Absolutely,
and
of
all of that, I will note that the standards that the proposed sewage treatment plant will be subject to as far as its design, and then it'll be routinely tested on a daily basis to confirm it's compliant with their discharge permit. For total nitrogen is 10 milligrams per liter, which is equivalent to the state's drinking water standard. I don't recommend that you drink it. That's not what I'm saying. But the level of treatment is similar to what is required for a drinking water standard.
Thank you.
Sure. No problem.
If you haven't already, consider talking to the Center for Clean Water Technology at Stony Brook, and they are trying to add innovation in projects such as this as part of work that they're doing with DEC and the county. And your picture, your scenario here is something that's being looked at on a larger scale.
And given that you've got so much green space, it probably is another thing to think about. Okay. We have somebody else? to
I was
hear
just,
from?
in the
Oh,
event
sorry.
other questions were going to come up regarding the STP, I would just add that I think Dave hit on the effluent. You know, right now, we're in the new technology with residential treatment systems where the county is requiring the 19 milligrams per liter. The STP standards are 10 milligrams per liter. With the STP design, everything's redundant. So we spoke about bolt blowers. It's a two-stage blower. There is a backup blower. With respect to the capacity of the plant, the existing plant is rated at 7,500 gallons per day. This plant will be at 12,000. And again, there's redundancy to that. So I just wanted to point that out to the board when we get into this technology of sewage treatment plant. You know, residential systems, there's a 50% leaching, future expansion. With STPs, it's 100%. So the standards at the county level are much more rigorous than what you see here.
Okay, thank you.
I wanted to talk, well, my script talks about, you know, going through the five-part standards. I submitted it all in writing.
did.
I think I'm just going to rest on that because it's really, yeah, it's not really a variance
We
per
actually
se.
read it, so thank you.
So let me talk, good. John's like, good. So really where we are is, we had a pre-app hearing before the planning board. But I think I guess what the question would be is if you guys can coordinate, it would be the next thing.
I already initiated that.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Okay.
that's already been initiated. I think you're on the planning board agenda next week, though.
Okay, wonderful.
23rd.
So that's
So
good.
we're going to, you're going to take lead agency, obviously.
Yeah, the
I
planning board
would
will.
be so.
Yeah.
I think in all my years of doing this, only once did this board take, on one of my applications,
Okay.
lead agency.
Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to pass a resolution to that effect, I assume, Katie, at the next meeting. Is that correct?
Nope, not at the next meeting, because we just coordinated, so you have to wait 30 days in order to
30
do
days,
lead
okay.
agency.
All right, thank you.
So we'll put it on for lead agency.
So that's just a secret resolution that we acknowledge that you're the lead
I
agency.
guess the question becomes, is there any sense coming back here until after you've done the coordination and waited the 30 days?
How long do you figure?
I don't know, that's really a question of, for,
Okay.
Well, yeah, I was just saying, I mean, well, we're not done, we have to hear from the public,
Yeah, of
but I
course.
thought we'd put it on
have
for lead
questions.
agency for May 21st, because that covers the 30 days. We'll assume it's gonna be the planning board, we'll put on a resolution, you know, establishing the planning board as lead agency, and then they can give us an idea of when to come back from testimony. Usually we do like, I don't know, 2 meetings after that, maybe, or maybe you don't wanna come back in the summer, I don't.
no, it's
Well,
fine, we'll be here.
What's your schedule?
Well, this is actually not my application,
All right,
so
go ahead.
it's Claire's reviewing it. So they're before the planning board next week. We're gonna start the secret process, you know, so
Actually, we're only gonna have one meeting in June anyway, so we could do lead agency for 521 and then come back for testimony the first meeting in July.
July
or if you need more time, we'll.
July 2nd, is that okay? July 2nd is the first one in July.
Sure, that's fine.
Can I get one question?
John, did you have something?
Yes, okay, so I have to say, I found the language in the original 1980, well, actually, in the 2010 decision, confusing in terms of what it is we're doing. It sought relief from conditions that said that the applicant needed to seek permission from this board. So it's not really, you're not really asking for relief from that, you are asking for approval.
Thank you.
And so then in your application, you talk about modifying the conditions. I just want to make sure, we're not changing the verbiage of any of these conditions. I just want to make sure, because it's modification of condition number 1, number 2, and number 10.
Right.
Really what you're doing is, well, it would be modifying condition number 1, because number 1 was you have to keep this 3-story building, right? Number 2 is you can't build anything new without our approval, and number 10 is you can't build an additional permitted use without our approval. So I just want to make sure that we're approving the right things.
Right, thank you.
That's from a structural point of view, correct?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you for that clarification.
Along those lines, the thing I'm grappling with, first, let me just say, I do appreciate the level of thought and how you moved so many pieces around to try to make this work. And, I think there's a compelling case to be made that, right on the edge of downtown Bridgehampton, this is a very suitable walkable-like environment. Most people will not get in a car to sit at a traffic light, to wait for two traffic lights to hang a left, and then not be able to find a parking space. So a lot of the people at the inn will likely walk if they're going anyplace else. So I think all that's nice. And I would appreciate if it's in the pile of stuff you gave us, forgive me if we didn't get through it all. But I'd love to see a side-by-side comparison of existing lodging space. You have the parking, I saw some of that, the septic flow you just told me, the restaurant you sort of talk about, and then the water use. So it's sort of like a cheat sheet. Sort of like a cheat sheet. Here's existing conditions, here's, it's all in there?
I think
Okay.
it's in there.
I suspected you had it somewhere, but I just.
actually read the whole thing,
couldn't
so
wait for
it's.
it.
yes.
It's already
Page
there.
1 of this package that
Okay.
they prepared, if you have this.
I have it, I saw it, I
Okay.
was
And
probably
it's got,
overwhelmed.
not only, it's got all the square footage calculations in here, and then it goes through each existing floor plan and compares existing to
So
proposed.
the last policy issue I think that we have to decide is, to John's point, there's no cap on coverage in any of the prior decisions that I saw. And I guess my question is,
Well, we're reducing it.
I'm sorry?
Net, we're reducing.
But because they've added the two
Yeah,
properties,
they
and
added
they
the two
now
properties.
have the larger acreage or square footage.
Right.
And, so while they've increased the intensity on the one side, they've, added this other.
If
So
it's,
There's
go
a
ahead.
less total impervious surface, regardless of the increase, so it's not even a percentage basis, it's like the total absolute number is actually
They
less.
took away the
before.
parking spaces.
Right, the surface parking.
But the intensity of the use of the property is greater than it.
Well, the intensity of the use of the original lot is greater, for sure.
Right. And so I'm just trying to grapple with that, and most things have limits, and I just don't see what the limit is here. So, maybe that's something the planning board or somebody.
The limit on what, coverage?
Yeah, well, coverage, units, square footage of lodging
I
space.
had a feeling this would get popped up to John's point, it says you gotta come back to this board for any expansion. What's the basis of any expansion?
Well,
is what they're
exactly.
asking. Well, and I was gonna say to this point, I think this board's gonna rely on the planning board's review of this application.
Yes.
Because it's for all, it's a commercial property, mixed use, development. The planning board, is really the agency that does the lifting with this kind of application. So I think really what you're gonna be looking at is planning board's review of a standard site plan and going through the secret process, and once that's all completed, I think this board then would have whatever information they needed to be comfortable, making a decision on this.
And as I understand it, in the future, you're still bound by coming back to this board for any expansion of use.
And my only concern is, under what criteria would that be evaluated?
Well, the other side of it is the sewage treatment facility is gonna be
Self-limited.
designed to accommodate a certain amount of density.
Point taken.
Right.
Okay.
So it'll be self-limited.
But Susan,
right.
can I
Forget
be
about
sure I
parking.
understand the point you just made, which is the requirement that they must return is not getting expunged from the record?
That's correct.
Correct.
No.
That's
Correct.
That
continues
80 decision
and will
is-
be reiterated in whatever we come back, whatever our variance.
Well, and this, throughout the process, this board can say when enough is enough. You can say, like, this is significant, because the reason that John has been kind of taking pride in how much he's wrapped this up is because it doesn't trigger an expansion of a non-conforming use. It doesn't trigger a use variance. It doesn't trigger all of the things that we think about when we think about these changes of sort of non-conforming uses, and John's been careful to keep it all on that lot. But I do think at the end of the application, you can say, you know, yes, well, you can come back to us for these things, we do want to see this, or we don't want to see this, or we think the benefit, you know, outweighs everything on this, because they've eliminated 2 buildable lots, and, you know, you can balance all this. There isn't really a 5-part standard for this, because there are no variances. And if you look at the prior decision, we did talk about the 5-part test because they were asking for setback variances.
Right.
And the prior variance actually also addressed a change from one nonconforming use to another, which this board no longer has jurisdiction over.
Yes.
But it's not necessary here because we, using not only the zoning code, but also some prior determinations from this board, we were able to establish that these are permitted accessory uses in this, on these parcels.
Right.
I don't want my comments to be construed as negative against
I
the
didn't
project.
take them that way.
Right,
I didn't-
but I just think as a board, you don't just say, come back and see us next time with not so much very good criteria.
I understand. Well, it's interesting. I think it just has to be a reasonableness standard, number one. Number two, nothing's going away that says we would have to come back here. There are some self-limiting, because I think we pretty much said, hey, it all has to happen here on that merged
Right,
parcel.
that's right.
So just physically and parking and wastewater
Right.
treatment.
And you're gonna covenant of
Yes.
the open space and other things, so, you know, we'll get the covenants in the variance and whatever, and that will be
Offer
a
them.
standard against which we will be able to evaluate in the future.
So
Okay.
it's not like written out standards, but they're
I hear you.
Okay, I'm going to assume that we have covered what you'd like to present, and I would like to ask if anybody in the audience wishes to be heard on 1, 55, and 61 Bridgehampton Sag Harbor Turnpike.
I assume we're going to have additional public hearings on
Yes,
these?
July 2nd. Is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to be heard?
We have one person coming on.
Okay. Oh, I know what I want to ask you. John, are you going to the historical, the landmark? Yes. Are you scheduled for that?
Yes, although there's nothing, we're not changing the actual contributing structure.
Oh, I understand,
No,
but you're
but
gonna go,
we
you're gonna
are
get a
required
certificate
because
of,
we're in the historic
Yes,
district.
yes.
Yeah.
okay.
They only accept your application if you have a building permit.
No, you can't get a building,
No, but we have to file like a complete building permit.
They're declining the
They're
I'm a
declining.
panelist, so I don't know what the hands up.
Okay, so just clarification, you are going to go to the land, okay,
Yes, because we are in the historic district.
that's right, okay. All right, so this is Bob's.
Okay.
Bob,
Katie,
July
how we-
2nd.
So just for our purposes, we're adjourning to July 2nd, holding open for
Here.
public hearing?
you're gonna put it on for lead agency resolution only on May 21st, and then we'll adjourn it and take additional testimony at the July 2nd.
Okay, so I'm going to move to put it on for May 21st for lead agency only, and then adjourn the public hearing until July 2nd.
Second.
Mr. Mastonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess. Ms. Kane.
Enough was a lot.
No, I think you did a very good job. Thank you, all of you. You did a great presentation, and if I tell you that, I have to have a new filing cabinet. A new filing cabinet requirement here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John.
Okay, number 8 on the agenda, the application of Alex Demeron Demir Revocable Trust dated June 14, 2023, 31 Ram Pasture Road, Hampton Bay, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-293-3-12. Applicant requests relief from Town Code Section 330-84D Pyramid Law for a north sky plane encroachment of 1,470 cubic feet for a proposed second-story addition to an existing dwelling on a non-conforming lot and any other relief necessary.
Board has jurisdiction.
Just give me 1 second, please.
Take your time, take your time. Regroup.
Yeah, I have to regroup.
We need a fresh start here.
And I wrote no.
All right, so let me swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please State your name and address.
Kevin Springer, Dynamic Legal, 48 Columbine North, Hampton Bays, New York. As the applicant.
Okay. Kevin, tell us about this application.
Okay, so we, I'm not sure how everybody got to look at this, but, so the first obvious issue is that we have a house here that's probably close to being 60 years old now. And the original house in certain sections are 4 feet and 3.5 feet off the northern property line. Which right off the bat, yes, the existing dwelling. So that's where obviously the issue became, we're trying to construct. So right now we have a 2-bedroom house, and it's small, it's long, but it's square footage wise, it's not that big, it's just the way it's laid out. So we have 1,470 square feet of, or cubic feet of pyramid encroachment. So there was a few things, obviously, first thing we did was we started the bump in another almost 9 feet in, and not on the original section, that's 3.5 and 4 feet, which if you see there is,
Up in here.
yeah, so we didn't, because then we would have had
A lot more.
yeah, probably 3 to 4 times more. So we are, mainly the only thing, we're adding a master bedroom with a little bit of an office, but that's about it for that. It's approximately 800 square foot addition. So some of the things I want to point out is that in doing the, setting it up, I know that the board likes to see these extremely high ceilings and whatnot. So the bedroom height of the ceiling is actually only 8 feet 3 inches.
So that's the second story.
This is a second story
And
addition.
it's 8 feet 3 inches.
Yes, it does go up a little bit in the middle, but that's not really where the encroachment comes from. It's basically this, half of the bedroom. So the reason we're doing it here is if you look, it's part of the house actually gets very thin in the middle. It's a little bit of a strange setup. You have one end, which is the south side, is a 2-story, and it goes back into a single story, and then we're gonna try and tie it all in, coming in and then going over to make it look much nicer, obviously. Again, but we're not building this monstrosity, and according to, most of the houses in the neighborhood, I don't know who's been out there or who's familiar with it, but a lot of the houses, especially on the other side of the road, are probably 2 to 3 times the size of what we have. They're on the bay, we're on the creek. They have, literally right across the road, there's probably easily 6,000 square feet, 2 of them. I have not heard from any of these. I think I only sent out 5 of them. The one I would have liked to have heard from is the gentleman that's going to affect just to the north of us. Just so you know, we do have a fence and screening there already, so that they can't see the original house. But I don't think, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, it's not going to really affect him, because he just had a couple of years ago, got a variance to put on that side, closer to us, was a pool and a garage. So we're not really even looking into his
Not
house.
right next to his
No, his
principal
house is actually even further north of, if you have the aerial, it's even north of where we are, his main living area. So the garage and the pool would be the closest structures to our dwelling. Again, it's a very modest, it's a bathroom, it's got a very little office area, it's a main bedroom. We didn't go crazy, and we're not looking to go crazy, we're just trying to use what we have here. Again, because of how the layout gets very thin in the middle again. And the idea is to put the stairs right off the kitchen instead of running them through the main living room, which would then run right into the main master bedroom. So we just kind of shoved it over as far as we possibly could, but that's where the stairs would go, and that's where the addition would start, instead of going right above the kitchen, which again would obviously add to a considerable amount of pyramid encroachment. I don't know, if you have any questions. It's not particularly overwhelming, but.
John, do you want to, this is your application, right? Do you want to, oh, this is the one you're giving to me.
Passing it on?
Yeah. He unfortunately was unable to review this, and is much different.
That's okay.
So I had, before we get there, just technically, I just didn't see a lot of the COs. I mean, you submitted some stuff, but I got the
There is
CO
a-
for the deck, I got one for oil to gas, and but I don't have the original CO for the building.
Because the pool company has yet to hand in, and this is now almost 2 full years of hounding this guy, his final one piece of paperwork to close out the pool, and if they close out the pool, they'll close out the other.
But I see a certificate of occupancy from 77 to convert the garage to the living area. I don't see the original CO for the house. I think you just need to provide it. It's
Yeah,
not.
I can get you that.
Yeah, I
know
mean,
that
it's
we
just,
have a
it
CO,
seemed to
because I
me,
wouldn't have been able
yeah.
to get any of these other.
Well, that I can.
There is one from 2016, single-family, one-story dwelling, one-car garage, crawl space.
That garage
But that-
conversion had to have been years, because we have a detached garage up towards the street, which, again, has been there for years, and that's basically, I think, maybe
So
2
you're
feet
saying
off
that
the
the
property
one
line.
from 16, which he claims was the, it
No, I'm just
covers-
saying that's the one I say.
Yeah, that's the only, but I don't see the original. So if you've got that, I just think just to clear out the,
The original CO?
yeah.
Well, this one is a pre-existing CO.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it may
why.
not have everything else that's on the property, but the
Okay.
2016 one is a pre-existing CO.
Okay,
Pre-existing, I'm 99% sure, is missing the pool
yes.
and the,
And it doesn't say pool,
yeah. So that's being held up.
Okay,
I
by
believe
the,
that they're probably gonna have to sue the pool company.
okay.
Because that's literally the only thing that's holding it up. And they won't close it out until we're done. We've had, we did have a conservation board for all that additional stuff, which we did, has been closed out.
Yeah.
I know that there are some comments from Marty, some, mainly just about debris, which unfortunately we're not one of the properties that are bulkheaded. So all the storm stuff runs right into where the wetlands are.
All right, so now I'm going to go back to the 2016 CO. It says it is for a one-story dwelling, whereas you have on your survey, it's a two-story dwelling.
Yes, because that's part of, so the pool and the.
So
and
that's
the other
part of the
end
one that you're still
Yes,
waiting for?
that's the one
Okay.
that's been in
So it's
limbo.
not, we still need to,
Yeah, I'm surprised there's no building department notes on that. I mean,
Yeah,
normally
I
they
mean,
don't,
that's-
they don't let you proceed with all these open permits.
yeah, I think it's
I
an
mean,
issue.
they know what's going on, I don't.
So help me understand, that there's, is, to mitigate some of the pyramid relief, particularly over here, there's no way you can put something more toward the front and not have to ask for the pyramid relief?
That's the blue is the pre-existing, that's been there.
Pre-existing, okay.
Blue, the yellow is just what we're doing.
And this can't be moved over or otherwise mitigated?
No, because that's where the house, the more you go to the south, the thinner the house becomes again.
Okay.
It's a very weird shape.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, so in the middle, which is just the living room, that's, there's a bedroom there also, but it's a very small bedroom. The bedrooms, I mean, the interior of the house is extremely dated. There's been, other than this addition on the end, where there's the den by the pool, it's really just a rec area for the pool. That's the only part of the whole house that's been renovated. The grounds have been renovated, they're beautiful, the pool is nice,
Is the 1470 additional relief?
What's that?
Or is that the total relief? The total, the
1470 is total.
total, including what's pre-existing? The pyramid relief?
No.
So there, how much is pre-existing?
12 and change, I believe. 1240.
So the total would be 26.
5, 6, 7, 2710.
2710. And what was the first one? The one that's pre-existing is 12?
Pre-existing is 1240,
Okay.
and
Adding
the
on
request is the
1470.
1470.
Did you want to say something about that, John?
Well, I mean, now we're getting up there.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
the way I look at it. Now we're getting up
That
there.
pyramid's been there for 50
Understood,
years.
understood.
And
Yeah.
now we're bumped in considerably with a very low roof line. I don't really have any other places to put it, to be honest. And that's the problem with the property, is that the house, the original dwelling is
So-
literally 4 feet off the
yeah,
line.
it's the original, which is so old, is
Right.
so
I-
close to the property
you know, I
line. I mean, I
researched
think
this
this
to
isn't like they're building a new house and they, right, so it's a
Right,
little
which
bit
is-
of a different.
okay.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
okay. All right, so Katie, what do you think about this, the fact that we don't have the CO for
I'll
the?
ask the building department.
Okay.
I don't, if, I don't think it has to hold this up. I think if the building department needs it, which I would think they would, we should condition our decision on no building permit until all that stuff is addressed.
Okay.
Or whatever, or no certificate until all of it is addressed. Candace, you're looking at me like
Right,
you
and
know?
I do have,
How old was that original CO? The one that.
2016 is like
is a
the,
pre-existing.
I'm actually, not the pre-existing, the one, so, like, I'm gonna say back in the day, this is, I should say that, but in like the, 60s, 70s and things like that, when they issue certificates for things happening on the property, there's a lot of times they did not ask for a CO like we would do nowadays. And that's probably why now in 2016, they asked for that pre-existing CO.
Okay, so they recognized it in 2016.
Correct, because
Right.
like I said, back in the 60s and 70s, there's a good chance, for the most part, they didn't ask for the applicants to provide a CO.
Right.
So there's a good chance there isn't gonna be one, like I said, that's what they did.
The original, like I was
Correct.
looking for,
I
right,
actually
okay.
did- I actually did the pre-existing on this property.
but what about the 2 sheds and the pool and the frame garage?
Well, they're not gonna be on a pre-existing CO because they obviously probably weren't
Well,
pre-existing.
these will be we'll be getting certificate of
You have to
compliances.
apply for them, yes.
That's what I'm saying, we don't have it, there's none of them.
Right.
Nothing
They've
else.
all been applied for, and it's all been completed, it just,
But generally, we don't look at the application until we have them in hand.
Well, whatever, I'll confirm with the building department, and, and like I said, we could just condition it on,
Okay.
do not issue the certificate of, whatever, compliance for the addition until everything else is whatever the word is, certified, I mean.
Right.
Certificated. I don't know what the
call it
word
whatever
is.
you want.
All right, and I'm sorry about the problem, but that's your problem, you're gonna have to deal with it one
No,
way or the
but,
other.
listen,
Yeah.
I've been
The
dealing with it.
client's gonna have to
and
deal with
just,
that, yeah. Yeah.
And it also says, Marty says you're supposed to get a wetlands letter of non-jurisdiction for this proposal as well.
Yes, that I'm
Did you
aware.
like that?
And yes, it started that, and then also there's something in there about about septic. There is no septic issue because we just redid the septic probably right around COVID time, I would say. So I'd have to double check, but it's got a new septic system in it.
A conventional one.
Yes, conventional, because it was before they had the IA. And we're still, even still, we're still only gonna be at 3 bedrooms. We're not, we're rated for 4, but we're not even doing a 4th bedroom. We just don't have the room to do that.
Okay,
What about the
so,
conservation? He didn't answer that one.
No, he said he made an application for the letter of non-jurisdiction.
Building permit. I think that's
No.
the question, you didn't provide them with that.
Decision.
you have nothing.
Because that one talks about the heated, in-ground good night pool, outdoor shower,
Yes.
fixed deck. We don't have that in the file.
We don't have it.
That's what.
Because it's not closed out.
I think it should be.
No, but that's why we ask for
Permit.
any, that's why we ask for any COs, CCs, and any open building permits and the
My
instructions.
apologies, yes, I
Because then
missed
we
that.
can submit all of that.
There's a bunch of stuff that needs to be provided,
Yes.
so, and you can certainly do that in terms of written submissions.
Well, when
But
I spoke to the owner, this is how I think we're going to attack the pool issue, because that's the only thing, we've passed all our final inspections, but I think we're gonna hire another pool company to come in and do their own inspection and then sign off on it, because I guess he's just tired of chasing them, and he's not my pool guy, so I'm, you know, I'm not picking fights with it's not my money, so.
No, it's unfortunate, people
Yeah, I
get
mean,
caught
this
in
thing,
that.
you know,
Yeah.
the certificate of wetlands for that whole project has been completed, and that is in the records.
Okay,
So
all right.
We need the letter of non-jurisdiction for this project.
Correct.
So we have the letter of non-jurisdiction, we have the COs, the building permits and the COs, so,
Well, hopefully we can get this pool and addition thing squared away ASAP.
so what I'm picking up is that you're not hearing a lot of dissension on the board in terms of the total cubic pyramid relief, given that the original house from 100 years ago was so close to the property line that any kind of addition, a second floor is going to obviously, hit pyramid needs. Okay, so Katie, what is kind of timing do we need on this then?
It's however long it's gonna take Kevin to get what he's gotta get. I mean, you can do the regular stuff and he can adjourn it if he doesn't have it,
The
or if
plan
he.
is to get a new pool company in there
All right.
next week.
All right, if we're going to close the public hearing, how much time do you need to get us via written submissions? And if need be, you're just going to have to adjourn until we get the, in terms of a decision. All right, okay, so, all right, so what are we looking at here?
Yeah, just do the regular ones and.
All right, so let's do written submissions by May 8th with a decision on May 21st.
Yes. Second.
Who seconded it?
I did.
Mr. Macedonio?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Redpan?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Okay, so you know what you have to
Adjourn
do.
decisions all the time.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
number 13 on the agenda. Application of Sean and Pamela Casey, 59 Sunset Avenue, East Quogue, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-373-2-50.
Dap, who'd you piss off tonight?
Does anybody have a paper clip, an extra paper?
Yeah, take this here.
Okay, thank you very much. Just give me 1 second to get organized. You're getting organized.
We got Dap, what numbers now? We are
No, there was a
14?
There was a submission.
You,
It's down the bottom page. Okay, there it is.
Here it is.
I miss it.
what's that? Oh, this is
Dap,
here, right?
who'd you piss off tonight?
Take one and pass it down.
Not me.
Okay, so have I sworn you in?
Yes, you were on Zoom last time.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, okay. So instead of swearing you in again, just please state your name and address.
I'm Zach Clanahan. I live in 14 Gravel Hill Road, Hampton Bays.
I'm sorry, what was your first name?
Zach?
Zach, okay, here you go. What
Yeah.
am I guessing your address?
Daphne Vaughn, Surfside Environmental Planning, 4 Happy Acres Drive. Just so you know, what's being passed out is the DEC permit for this project, which I just received recently, even though it's dated October. There was an email glitch with the DEC. They were trying to send me a 35 megabyte attachment that I was never receiving, and after multiple
Temps?
phone calls, et cetera, I finally got it, so that's for you. And also, at the last meeting, we talked about the potential for not needing a variance for the proposed at-grade patio. We got confirmation from Art Gerhauser today that no variance is needed for the at-grade patio. So the only items that we need variances for are the outdoor shower, which this board kind of indicated didn't seem like a problem as proposed, and then the swimming pool. So Zach and his team came up with these revised plans that were submitted recently. I think it was last week. So hopefully you have those. And I'll throw it to Zach to go over them.
It's good to see everyone tonight.
Let me just make sure we have that.
It's like a 3-page package.
It was in the submittals.
Oh,
It's in the submittals.
today?
Yeah, today's submittals.
Oh, okay. We didn't get them in our packets. We got them as part of the submittals.
Yeah.
So, hold on, I gotta find them.
So outdoor shower.
Thank you, John, for telling me. Because I'm looking, I'm going, I don't think I saw that. Okay. Let me find it,
Yeah,
and
I'll
then
wait
we'll.
too.
Where is it?
That's it, we just touched it.
That's
That's
it?
Yep.
Here we go. Okay, sorry, this is what happens when we get submittals and we don't get a chance to read them in advance, so. Okay, go ahead, Zach.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
All right, so I think it's good to just recap the challenges that this site has from our last meeting. The first page is more like a high-level view of the challenges. So we have on the, this would be the west side, the entire property line is wetlands. The south is wetlands.
Excuse me.
And up to the neighboring pool is wetlands as well. So we're really kind of hemmed in as to what we can propose for new structures. We also have this right-of-way that is fixed, that we cannot move from.
Yep.
And then also, the Conservation Department has asked us to rotate the existing pool 90 degrees.
Right, no surprise.
So we have rotated it 90 degrees, moved it further away from the west. And then we listened to the adjacent neighbors' request to move the pool down from the northern property line. And you'll see the comparison on the left to where it was originally proposed, aligning with the pre-existing setbacks we have, to where we've moved the pool now another 4 feet further away to a 12-foot setback. Also, I went to the site the day after just to kind of review what the adjacent neighbor had said. And it's worth visiting the site. I would recommend, I don't know if you have been to the site, but I put the house that's on the north just to show the proximity to the pool, and it's 131 feet away. Also, the adjacent house is viewed, or it's on an angle askew from this property line, where most of the views are further to this area. So I feel that this is the best area to tuck these structures into, to keep it out of that view corridor that they already have. So I do feel like we are proposing a good plan here that is gonna have minimal impact on, or have the least impact on the neighbor, I should say.
How far are you from the other neighbors on the, what would it be, west, east? I don't know, where's north?
This, there's an arrow there, so to the east.
East, yeah. How far are you from there?
These buildings have pre-existing non-conforming setbacks.
Okay,
That's a very narrow lot that,
Yeah.
lot next door.
okay.
I can
And
get you
that-
those.
I just was
that,
curious, because it's not 100 and some feet, obviously.
No, but they also have a swimming pool on the water side that was recently put in, I believe, only in the past couple of years. I should also note that you can kind of see on these plans, there's a dotted line, that's the outline of the existing decking. So we're pulling structures further away from the wetlands by, I don't know, that's probably a good 6 feet or so. So that's also pulling it away from that neighbor behind them. There's this dotted line that's showing the outline of the deck.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And I would also add that the current terrace or deck and pool is at a higher level. We're also proposing to bring the terrace down to that less than 12 inches from grade. So that's even gonna increase that level of being out of sight from the neighbor, because the neighbor's quite high. The owner is also planning on putting some screening in this area to the west, so that can help further make a buffer between
The owner neighbor or the owner you?
the neighbor we
Oh, okay,
represent.
got it,
Yeah.
okay.
He's here with us tonight, that's Sean
Okay.
Casey back there.
And also, I think it was worth mentioning, there was some talk of the parking area possibly shifting, but I did a parking study on the next page that I think is worth looking at. You can see it's fairly tight with the circulation needed for an SUV, a standard size SUV. And also because of the right-of-way and possibly emergency vehicles coming in, we do need that access. And then I also went further and I did an area study of the existing parking areas that we have to propose. And the existing is at 4,058 square feet, the proposed is 4,061 square feet. So even though the shape is different, it's more consolidated and more efficient.
It's more maneuverable.
Okay, then they're the original.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually had a site meeting with, I think there were like 4 or 5 cars in the driveway, and to get out was a little challenging, especially if you have a larger vehicle.
The setbacks changed, I can't read them on that plan.
Yes.
They have.
Yes, we were originally proposing the pool at 8
feet.
8 feet, yeah. And so now it's at 12 from the property line, where 20 is required.
So the pool setback now 12.
Is that on there?
Yes.
It is, yep.
Okay, and what about for the outdoor shower? Is that on there?
The outdoor shower's at 4.5.
All right, so that's the same.
That's the pre-existing setback that we have.
The existing pool is at 20 feet, but the existing deck is at 15 feet. 15.9, I believe.
And I also have that on the survey too. I know it's small. I can,
Does that need a
Yeah,
variance?
I'm sure you dealt with Marty already, and he's.
The existing one has
Yeah,
a
the
variance.
wetlands approval.
So we don't,
conservation
that's what I'm saying, we don't
department
need that.
No, no.
That's really
And
drove
that's
the whole
being
design.
demolished.
So if I had to sum up your sort of basic pitch is, the pool's lower, taking the deck out, we're putting pavers in, we don't need permits for pavers, we turn the pool to not jam it so much against the property line. And it's a constrained lot, and we think this is the best we can do. Is that essentially it?
Yeah,
The right of way is really limiting us.
yes.
I get that. Most people can turn into a driveway and they have a street. You have, depending on a high tide, water.
Basically, like an island at high tide.
Yeah, it is basically wetlands on both sides of the right-of-way, so.
Yep.
All right, so just summarize for me again, so we know exactly what we're gonna have to
Both sides.
deal with in terms of variance, Daphne.
So there's only 2 variances.
Okay.
One is for the outdoor shower
Okay.
at 4.5 feet, which is the same as the pre-existing non-conforming setback of the existing detached garage.
Okay.
And the second one is the pool, which is at 12 feet, again, where 20 feet is required.
Okay.
And that's all. That's the
And that's
only
it.
variances that are required for this project.
Is the outdoor shower enclosed? Or
No, it's
just
like a 5-foot high
Sort of like a
wall.
rinse pad more than much else, okay.
And it's also worth mentioning that we do have the pre-existing non-conformance at 4 foot, 4.5 feet.
With the garage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you've certainly done some homework, it looks like to me. Kevin, do you agree?
Sure. Anybody else?
Yeah, does anybody else want to comment on this application?
No other comments?
Appreciate your efforts.
Julie, you good?
Julie?
Yes, I appreciate the efforts, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
So if,
Let out to the
I'm
audience.
sorry, yes, of course.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard?
Yes.
Okay, please come up.
Why do I need that?
Did I swear you in the last time?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please just state your name again.
Kim Earl.
Okay, Kim. Okay?
Thank you. I just wanted to touch briefly on a few things that I understand to be statutory considerations. First, with respect to neighborhood character, in their initial application, they said that visibility from the street, that there was no visibility from the street. For starters, there is visibility from the street. But moreover, it's the impact on adjoining properties, including my own. This proposal places a 2-story structure 4.5 feet from my property line. I am sitting approximately 4.5 feet from you. Sorry, I'm quite upset about this. So I'm, trying not to be emotional. It significantly increases the bulk, height, and activity at that boundary, including from a 2nd-story deck, where noise and activity would be elevated above grade and carry directly onto my property. Second, on feasible alternatives, The board previously asked the applicant to return with alternatives. I've never seen any, but what I'm hearing today is that the alternative moves the pool by 4 feet. If these were submitted previously, I haven't had an opportunity to review them. The application also references conditional or incomplete review by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and the Town Environmental Division. I understand you've gotten the New York State DEC recently. I haven't seen that. I did do a FOIL request for some other things, but I haven't seen that one.
I think it just came in today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just-
That's what I just submitted today, and the Conservation Board was submitted previously as well.
The Conservation Board's conditional approval requires the base of the pool to be at least 2 feet above the water table. The survey shows groundwater at approximately 3.5 to 4.7 feet, and I haven't seen how that requirement will be met.
All right, is there a response to that?
Yeah, we're gonna have to dewater the pool.
What do you mean?
They're gonna have to build the pool into the, below the water table to have the depth for the pool.
But if
That
the-
is a standard practice, and you have to then anchor the pool when you're finished with the gunite pool. So it's
But
not
if-
something
if-
unusual.
If the condition is it has to be 2 feet above the water table, if you said that, if I heard you correctly,
I've submitted that
This is-
document to Landis.
I'm assuming that's this?
It's in that, yeah, it's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So this just raises a question as to whether the pool can actually be built as proposed without bringing in more fill or elevating it above existing grade, which they say they're not going to do. Based on what's been submitted, it doesn't appear that less intrusive configurations, including relocation, reconfiguration, or integration with the proposed deck area on the other side of the house, have been fully explored. Third, on substantiality, the application describes the project as mostly the same footprint, but it's actually about 150% increase, with a second story and a balcony at the same reduced setback. The pool, which already benefits from relief, is also being moved closer to the property line, further concentrating activity in that area. And while the existing structure functioned as a garage, and I think this board made that point last time, that the garage is quiet. People park their car and then they leave the garage. This proposed use is much more active and associated with the pool and increases the level of activity and impact at that
Let me
location.
ask you a question. You said deck on top of it? Is
Yeah,
there?
there's an outdoor deck on the second story.
That's true, but those are all.
None of
in the
those
re-
require variances.
Yeah, those are all within building department standards.
I guess what my understanding is that
Is there
this
a
board
pyramid?
has the ability.
No, we would, as of right, be able to apply for those.
And I would also add,
Otherwise, we would be asking for variances.
to your point, where we're closer to the north side, we're keeping that as 1 story. We don't increase to the 2-story till we're back from the 20 feet. So we are keeping it, we are honoring that, and we're still within the pyramid there as well.
So
They're
you're-
only here for 2 variances. One is the 4.5 feet for the outdoor shower, and now the 12 feet for the pool. That's all they're here for.
And actually, the variance is it's a setback 8 feet, and you need 12 feet, or is?
No, it's 20 feet in there,
20
and they're
feet
asking
is
for 12.
required.
Okay.
So they're asking for 8
But
feet
I
of
think
relief.
what I
Right.
think they're saying is that in order to, honor the views or whatever, that they are not putting a second story on the first part of the building that's closest to the property line. Is that
That's true.
correct?
The area
So
to the
it's,
north.
even though they have a right
And we
to
could
do
have,
that.
but we decided not to,
but
we
they-
stepped it back.
But they've made some accommodations for that.
My understanding is that this board has the ability to look at the variances and determine whether they actually do need a variance to increase the massing, the size, the usage of this accessory building that's not a garage.
Is your biggest concern the building?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just
Absolutely.
wanted to get
My
that
biggest
clear on the
concern is
record,
that
right?
I have listened to noise for years. I've seen their pool for years. This is just adding to that concentration. It's going to way add to the noise because having a pool house with dining and an outdoor deck on the second floor looming over my property and looking into my backyard.
Right, ma'am, but the building department reviews applications and then tells the applicant what variances they need. So our jurisdiction comes in when they need a variance as per the building department. They don't need a variance for the construction of that building. They just need a variance for the existing outdoor shower and the relocation of the pool. Now, one thing that I'd like to ask you, you said that in this document that Mr. Merrihew drafted, there's somewhere this rule that you need to have 2 feet from the.
No, that's a completely different document. I've given you a packet of things, including Mr. Merrihew's letter, but it's a separate,
Is it
it's
in the adopted resolution of the?
yes, it's in that very
it's in the
dense
wetlands?
document that says that the pool
Because I'm
has
looking
to be
through it and
above.
I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing, the driveway has to be 2 feet from the wetlands. That's the only 2 I'm seeing so
I can
far.
confirm that we will make sure that the pool meets the requirements of the building department standards and conservation board standards, but we're focusing on footprint here, not the depth of the pool or the required building techniques.
I would also say that unless somebody went onto my property and marked wetlands, and I've never seen anybody's flags on my property, that piece of my property to the north of the driveway is an uplands, non-disturbance buffer to the wetlands that are on the south side of the driveway. So the wetlands are on the water side of the driveway. The wetlands aren't on the north side of the
Well,
driveway.
this is something that the Conservation Board is, charged with taking a look at. That's not within our jurisdiction. So if they give a permit, then they say everything is okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something about, the 12-foot setback. Are you planning to do anything, in terms of shrubbery or?
Yeah, we're gonna do screening.
Screen it.
We will. We'll screen the north and the
So
west
that could be a
side.
condition of,
I don't wanted to speak for the
Ms.
owner, but-
Vaughn said at the last meeting that they could relocate the shower. I don't see it, in the plan, I don't see it as a pad with a shower head and no enclosure, but you tell me
It
if.
has a defense.
It's just a
Right,
screen
it
wall, a
has,
5-foot screen wall.
right, it has an enclosure
If
around
there-
it.
if there
And
We
it
gotta
is
we gotta redirect this
increasing-
conversation. This is not between you two. This is
Nope.
between the applicant and the
It's
board,
so-
and you're allowed to
Right, so I would
say
say
your
I
piece.
did not see it as a pad with a shower head. I saw it as having an enclosure and increasing the extent of the variance, which is already 4.5 feet from my property.
I understand
If
the
the
enclosure
board-
is 5 foot.
Right. If the board is inclined to grant this
It's
application.
just a fence, essentially.
You've raised the issue of mitigation, and I would, that's the direction you're leaning, I would ask that that be a covenanted condition, that they need to plant the screening, that the screening needs to have a certain height to it, that it needs to be maintained, so if it dies, they need to maintain
We
it.
do that in our, we definitely put that in.
This is, I don't understand why they need to, why only moving their pool by 4 feet.
If they moved the pool to 20 feet, which they theoretically could do, and it would encroach into the parking area, and the shower wasn't there, they wouldn't even have to be here. Right?
But their parking area wouldn't be able to be
Well,
used.
they have an existing pool, why does that, why do they need to move a pool closer to my property line?
Not our determination, right?
But that actually is, because
What
they're
is the
asking for a
current
variance.
setback on the pool?
It's at 20 feet
It's
right
at 20
now,
feet,
but
okay, so
the
you-
existing deck is about 15 and change. But we're actually, as I said earlier, pulling the structures further away from her property. And I had passed out this aerial last time, so the setback that Zach is showing on his plan is to her home, which is here. As you can see, or maybe you can't, that she has a large swimming pool between her house and her own accessory building that is in closer proximity to the Casey property. But all of those structures are angled facing towards the southwest. They're not facing the Casey
Can I see
property.
We did that intentionally so that we wouldn't be creating noise facing our neighbors.
Right.
All right, well, we appreciate very much your comments.
And all of
Um,
those structures are elevated
think
But
that
I-
gentleman
And there's
was-
a do you know what the footage is from the edge of this what looks to be an accessory building and the lot line?
I think he, oh.
You talking
Ours,
about
we
which
did
one?
not
Do we know
require
how
a
far that
variance.
is from this neighbor's buildings to across that,
Hot tub.
to the lot line? Do we know how far that
So it's
is?
130 to the corner of the house, so that pool is probably 18 feet wide, I don't know. Figure that's 24 feet there, and then I don't know how big that building is.
And I know from the corner of the building, it's 91 feet to the pool.
Is there any reason why the shower can't be put on the side of the garage, on the other side? You know, in other words, away from the property line and close, by the garage and the parking area?
Well, that's how you use the garage.
Oh, I don't know that, okay.
Yeah, the doors are there for the garage entry.
It's just, the shower is just a spigot on
No,
the garage with a fence around it, like any
I
outdoor
get it.
shower.
And are these mature trees on your property that, next to the lot line there?
So I have, we planted trees, again, we were trying to be good neighbors. We planted some trees on the west side of their property.
northwest, right.
Right, so we planted some trees there.
Okay. How mature are they?
10 years old. Ms. Vaughn, they're not that tall. Ms. Vaughn mentioned the last time that there was screening between my backyard and their pool. I have included a photograph where you can see that that's little shrubs this size, and you can see straight into their swimming pool. So that does not,
But they're going to be putting up vegetation. They're gonna do the
Right.
screening.
And they could be evergreening as well if you
Yeah.
if you
The
want.
corner of your buildings are 91 feet from the lot,
Yeah.
from what we're talking about. It is quite a distance.
I'm very
It is quite a
concerned about
distance.
second-story noise, but we will have to deal with that as it comes. And I'm concerned about 1,000-square-foot accessory building someday becoming an accessory apartment.
Well, we don't have jurisdiction over that, ma'am, so we can't really help you with that
Understood,
problem.
understood.
There you go.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your comments. Did you want to say something? You must come up and I have to swear you in.
Thank you.
Need to leave?
You have to leave, but, did I swear you in? All right, then let me swear you in. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Sean Casey, 59 Sunset Avenue, East Quogue.
Hey, Sean.
Do you also need my other address, or no?
No, that's it.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
No, I just wanted to say, sorry, my name is Sean Casey. I'm the father of 4. This is a house that we live in. This is not a party house or anything. We've never had noise. My mother-in-law lives with me. She's owned the house for 40 years before. As far as the pool and everything else like that, I'd leave it the way it is. I'm trying to do it because the conservation guy, he wanted to, it was better for the property. Anything. You want me to move the, I'll do anything. I don't know why you would talk to me, whatever you need.
1 week before the earlier hearing, I received a package. So there was no
Okay,
time.
okay.
Oh, sorry, it's
Let's-
my fault, my fault.
So let
my
me
fault.
just say this. It's very helpful for neighbors to talk to each other. And, if you can meet and discuss and come up with, it's always nice to provide us with written submissions if you agree to certain kinds of conditions.
Right, but I do want to wrap this up and try to.
Yes, no,
yeah,
and we're going
move
to
it up.
set a decision date.
Yeah, we are.
And
But as far as, I'm not looking to really adjust. I'm very lucky with what I have.
no,
I'm
we
not really
understand.
looking to do anything.
Sir, like
You know,
we've said,
And we put this out for 45 days now where.
we don't have any jurisdiction over the building.
No,
We
no,
just
no.
don't.
Totally.
We just don't.
Same thing.
So everybody has to understand that. We just don't. You don't need variances, you're not here for those variances, it's just the shower and the pool.
Just so we go a little further.
It's all
So
good.
You can-
while
you
we
can
were here-
discuss.
While we were here and Kim was applying for her other stuff and was over on the pool height and stuff on her stuff, I was like, go ahead. Well, I was talking to my father-in-law. My father-in-law said, this is gonna be your future house. Do you have a problem with it? Absolutely not. I want everyone to enjoy their property.
Okay,
Our
but,
house
we're
is so
limited
far
to
away.
2 variances,
Sure.
Mr. Leonard said.
But
that
even
we're-
with, so, sorry, so as far as the, if there is anything with the shower, and we can move it somewhere else,
all right.
Sir, what we're telling you is, you don't need,
Okay, I'm just
I
trying
can
to
tell
make
you're
things
very
work. I'm
anxious
like,
right now.
yeah,
Hold on,
no,
hold on. I can tell you're very anxious right now. I'd like you to take a deep breath.
Yep, sorry, just got back from
All gonna be
Peru.
okay.
I just got back from Peru
Okay,
this morning,
I
sorry.
understand. And like we said, we're only looking at the outdoor shower and we're looking at the pool. If you want to talk to your neighbor, separate and apart from this
Right.
proceeding,
Yeah,
you
we
can
already have
certainly
one.
do that and make any adjustments that the two of you decide would be beneficial for both of you. And all you have to do, we're going to give you a written submission date, we're going to give you a decision date, and then you submit to us
If
in
there are
writing
changes.
any change.
Okay.
And then we'll
And,
work with that.
but that you know that there is basically, I would say on this board, nobody is objecting strenuously to what's being requested as a variance, so that you know that. Is there anybody in the audience, anybody else in the audience who wishes to be heard? Is there anybody on Zoom?
No one.
Okay, Kevin, so let's set it.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion that we close the hearing, accept comments until May 8th with a decision on 5/21.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Redhand?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Outside, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night. Okay,
And
number 14 on the
get
agenda.
some sleep.
Yes.
I know, I got no sleep at all.
We were.
Where'd you go?
My brother's a Christian brother, and we went, I should show you pictures. We went to.
Peru,
Where'd you?
Yeah, went to Peru.
Machu Picchu.
So that I
Nice.
did. But the best is the people in this country, they have nothing. I feel embarrassed for what I'm asking
All right.
for.
We appreciate that,
Mean,
thank you
great
so
stuff.
much.
Have a great
Night.
night.
Thank you.
Number 14 on the agenda, the application of Ann Gardner, 200 Warfield Way, North Sea, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-44-2-2.
Yeah, I know.
Good evening.
Right, how you doing today?
Okay,
I'm hanging in there.
did I swear you in the last time?
Yes, you did.
Okay, just state your name again.
My name is Wynn Thompson. I'm Ann Gardner's partner.
Okay, Win. Okay. All right. Okay, go ahead, what do you want to tell us?
So the issue that, sole issue that I was understanding that what the board was concerned about was the location of the shed.
Yes.
And we worked with the building department to locate it outside of the 50-foot triangle that's formed by Noyak Road. We decided to reduce the size of the shed to a 10 by 10 existing. We're just going to move it from where it is to a new spot, keep the setback from Noyak Road the same as before, and increase the new setback from on Warfield Way to 22.7 feet.
So the concern was that the shed was too close to Warfield, right?
Yep.
Right.
And so what you're doing is you're reducing the size of the shed and you're pushing it further from Warfield.
Correct.
Okay, so now the setback is 22.7.
Yes.
John, this is yours. Do you want to say anything about
Well,
this?
for me, I was okay with the applications except for that shed. I said, if we did that, that's what it is, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, yeah. And
Feet is-
and I think there's a good amount of vegetation around that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's well protected and it's screened, so, yeah, yeah.
My only issue with the,
Okay.
Anybody else?
Do we have a new survey showing that?
Yes, that was submitted on
Yes.
March 17th.
Yeah, it's in the submissions
Okay.
that we have.
Does that change the coverage percentage to a little bit? No?
It might bring it down a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
100 square feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Was it small
Yes.
to begin with?
Okay.
No, but it should be adjusted on there,
That's
because you
why-
are asking
Yeah, I
for
got it.
21%. So
Exactly.
does it have it on there?
On the new survey, let's see.
Just the total lot
Have
coverage?
it on there, let me put it that way. I did not check.
Should be less than 21%.
Maybe.
It's,
20.3 is
look
what
at
it
that.
is now.
Okay, thanks.
That's a better variance.
It should probably be on the survey.
Oh, you just read it, so it must.
Oh, here it is. I got it. It's here.
There you
It's
go.
here, 20.3.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? Is there anyone on Zoom?
No one.
Just- Okay, John, this is yours.
All right, so we're gonna close with written submissions for 5.8 and a
Seven.
decision for 5.21?
Second.
5.7.
No, it's 5.8, you're right. Decision 521.
Second, John
Okay,
second.
thank you
for
very
doing that.
much.
We gotta vote.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
We gotta vote.
That's
Vote
right.
would be
Who's-
nice.
Did we
Yes.
ask the audience?
I
we?
did. I asked
Well,
audience
okay,
and
that
Zoom.
I blanked out on.
I know, all right, and I blanked out on voting. All right. Mr. Redhand.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Sorry,
So strange.
everybody is blanking out tonight. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for doing that.
Oh, you could have
Made it easy.
We have some decisions. Okay.
What a strange
Bob,
evening.
you're the first one.
I'm the first one, okay. Decision for Jeffrey and Jacqueline Guido, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-190-2-13. This application is for property located at 6th Lawrence Avenue, Hampton Bays. Applicant seeks a single and separate determination and for a rear yard setback for proposed addition to a pre-existing dwelling. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board confirms that the subject premises, that is Suffolk County Tax Map 900-190-2-13, is held in singlet and separate ownership from all adjacent parcels, and thus entitled to relief pursuant to Town Code 330-115D, and grants relief from Town Code 336 that references Town Code 33011 for a principal rear yard setback of 26.4 feet, where 30 feet is required for proposed addition to an existing dwelling on a non-conforming lot, as shown on the plot plan prepared by Michael Angelone, last dated October 8, 2025, and for floor plans and elevation prepared by Michael Angelone, dated July 22nd, 2025. Granted, the foregoing is subject to such conditions and permits as applicant has acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald.
Aye.
Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, I have one, and Lawrence Doyle and Mary Rose Weissman, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-10-1-41. This application is for property located at 20 Shady Rest Drive, Noyak. Applicant seeks a variance to construct a proposed second-story addition to a dwelling on a non-conforming lot. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from Town Code Section 330-84D, height, pyramid law, for a south sky plane encroachment of 1,083 cubic feet for a proposed second-story addition to a dwelling on a non-conforming lot, as shown on the proposed site plan prepared by W.A. Schillick, R.A., revised March 9th, 2026. Schillight, I guess it is. And the floor plans and elevations revised February 4th, 2026. Grant of the foregoing is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has acquired and may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of subject premises, including ensuring that all fences and walls, either proposed or existing, comply with town code prior to the issuance of any certificate for the proposed addition. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Leonard.
Aye.
Mr. Macedonia.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Aye.
Mr. McDonald. Ms. Burgess.
Aye.
Ms. Kane.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, Bob, you got two more.
Okay, this is for Doris F. Lucero Nunez, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-260-7-20. This application is for property located at 101 Springville Road, Hampton Bays. Applicant seeks variances to legalize the conversion of accessory building into an accessory apartment. After discussion with the board over the size of the apartment, applicant was able to revise plans to reduce the habitable living space to be more in conformance with town code. While this board does not condone construction done without the benefit of building permit, it does find that the revised application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from the following provisions of Town Code to legalize an accessory apartment constructed without the benefit of building permit on a non-conforming lot, Section 330-11.2F, to allow an accessory apartment to be located on a lot that is 21,330 4 square feet where a minimum of 30,000 square feet is required, and 330-11-2G1 to allow the total floor area, habitable living space of the accessory apartment to be 36.135% of the total floor area of the main house, where a maximum of 35% is permitted, all as shown on the plot plan prepared by John Lee Mailer, last revised March 31st, 2026, and the area plans and accessory structure plans prepared by John Lee Mayer, last dated March 31st, 2026. Granted, the foregoing is subject to such conditions as permits as applicant has acquired, or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises.
Second.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Redpath?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, last one.
Mine, last one?
Yep, I have Bob.
Richard.
Bosnick?
Richard Talsnick, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-382-1-29. This application is for property located at 1 Shore Lane, West Hampton. Applicant requests variance for a proposed one-story addition to an existing dwelling on a lot burdened by 2 front yards. This application passes the standards set forth in New York State Town Law and Town Code. Therefore, this board grants relief from Town Code 330-6 that references 330-11 for a principal rear yard setback of 24.7 feet, where 60 feet is required for proposed one-story addition to an existing dwelling, as shown in the survey prepared by Michael K. Wicks, last revised January 27, 2026, and the floor plans and elevation prepared by Nicholas J. Flagler, last dated April 8, 2025. The grant of the foregoing is subject to such other conditions and permits as applicant has acquired or may otherwise have to acquire for final approval of the subject premises, including the removal of the shed as shown on the aforementioned survey.
Second.
Mr. Macedonia?
Aye.
Mr. Leonard?
Aye.
Mr. Redpath?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald?
Aye.
Ms. Burgess?
Aye.
Ms. Kane?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Motion to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.